All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Overshot, a paintball podcast. We got a special guest here today from Long Island, has been around a long time. Pat Sanelli, coach of plenty of teams. I know he was on ECE. You know, he coached the Bears. They almost made it pro. Coached New York Xtreme. So, Pat, we're just going to kind of kick it off. How did you start? What your first paintball experience was like? And then just take us down that rabbit hole.
Okay. Started just like everybody else in the backyard, you know, Walmart specials, just going at it. Where I lived, there'd be like an acre, 2 acres worth of empty space or woods between streets.
Okay.
So it was perfect ground for paintball. And this kid down the road from me, who I grew up with, brought me out. I had a Piranha, PMI Piranha. Steel braided hose, and I got a boomstick for it.
All right, at least you got a good barrel.
Yeah, right on the side we have buttons, 3-shot, 6-shot. So anytime I want to just doop, and I thought it was the greatest thing. And nothing was better than lighting up my friend for the first time. So we played for pretty much the whole summer, basically in the woods. And then my friend, who was friends with Robbie and Joey Altamore, brought me to Cousins in Quorum. This is now 2004.
Okay.
I started working right after my 17th birthday, and it really changed my life. You know, before that I was not in a good spot, neighborhood. You know, life was not going great.
Right.
And the moment that I entered the paintball world, everything changed. My personality changed, my outlook changed, and I wanted every moment of my life. I wanted more of it. And so we played at Cousins. I got a job the very next weekend.
Damn.
You just dove right in.
We played on Badlands, and in my mentality was, okay, this is Army stuff. You got that guy going out, we got to protect the base and all this stuff, and everybody's running away. I'm like, wait, we got to protect the base. So I spent the whole game, which felt like forever, guarding this base on top of the hill. And back then, there was like a jungle out there.
Yeah.
There was vines and trees. Looked like Tarzan was coming through the fucking so I saw nothing. All I heard was gunfire. And I'm like, this is sick. But there's nobody to shoot at. So the next game, we went to Hyperball. And this was old Hyperball before they ripped it down. With the sub and the zigzag snake and the big 50. I don't know if you guys
I played it once or twice back in the day at Cousins, right? Yeah.
And like the Dorito side were just the doubles, and you couldn't go out the left-hand side of it because the net was right there.
Yeah.
So you had to play the right and the diamond anyway. And I dove right into the snake. Robbie's in the 50, and I'm like, this is sick.
Yeah.
And now at this point, I have a Spider E99, and it's a Spider E99. For my experience, that shit never worked. I'm a mistake regardless.
Dude, I think I had 3 of them. They never worked.
Shit just never worked. I should have went back to the fucking Piranha, but it is what it is. And right then, I'm like, yo, I'm hooked. We started banging for a while. I started reffing, and then I was like gung-ho ref. Like, I took it way too far. As a 17-year-old kid working at Cousins Paintball, definitely took my job way too far.
Like you throwing majors back in the day on walk-on parties?
I would walk up to a 30-year-old dude right out of the Bronx, like, yo, get the fuck off my field. Like, damn, lift your goggles up and shit, and not caring. Meanwhile, this guy's like, I will crush you and leave you out here. Not caring. Jumping into the middle of fights, and there used to be fights at Cousins, man.
Back in the day, there were fights.
I remember one time, the same field I started playing on, it's open semi, and it's open semi like 50 on 50. Like they're mini big games. It's serious. I don't know exactly what happened, but these two groups were from different neighborhoods and did not like each other. You know, Bronx, Brooklyn, whatever it was. Like everybody just knew. Like you just knew the atmosphere. We're in Badlands, a fight's breaking out. I'm chugging through the woods, thinking I'm about to tackle these fucking 400-pound monsters and shit. And there's this branch that came out of the ground, and it was wrapped in vines. And this big refrigerator of a guy, picked this thing up and went to go slam this dude. Not realizing it was a trunk of a tree, like at least 4 feet long.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
And now I'm like within 5 feet of this. So he launches to grab it. I'm like, no. It snaps on the vine, swings back, hits me, knocks me off my feet onto the fucking floor.
Depleted.
I'm like, I get up, I'm like, yo, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
Sherman, get over here, there's a fight. And I was done.
Sherman, man.
Sherman,
He's been there for 100 years.
that dude
He came
is
with the
200
property.
years old, straight out of the Civil War.
Yeah.
Walked right off of Gettysburg, came right to Cousins. That guy he's been around since I knew him, and at that time he was already like 20 years deep in the game. He's just a walking dinosaur, but Sherman, man, you're an odd dude, but I love you.
Yeah.
Yo, so crazy you even say that about like taking reffing too seriously. So like I worked at High Velocity Outdoor for like 7 years, dude, and I was the same type of way. You know what I mean? I'd be like, yo, get out, penalties and stuff like that, and people would be like, dude, you're taking it too seriously, and I'm like, I couldn't not. You know what I mean? I couldn't not take it like that. You know what I mean? When people were cheating, you know, it's like you said, you know, same thing, like getting pummeled into the net, people shooting full auto, trying to rip you into the net, dudes trying to hit each other with the tanks of the gun, stuff like that, dude. So
it's funny because when you're reffing, you don't want any of that to happen. But at the same time, back then, it was like that every practice. Because we were doing 15 balls per second, everybody's running and gunning everywhere. There's half the amount of bunkers, so people were just destroying each other. And I witnessed a lot of fistfights back in the day, and it was crazy. But afterwards, no one did it. No one gave a shit. Next weekend, do it again.
back at it.
And I've seen some guns get turned around and used as bats when, and I don't know why, you just pull the trigger, you're doing the same thing. But you never know back then. And it's funny because back then, there was a field at Cousins to where if you stood on, you can look right down at the high-vi. And I actually watched that place being built. Not from the ground up, but just about the ground up. And it was serious. And that's when I realized that Cousin was in trouble. You know, that field, I never seen on the field before. Cousins was it. So when I was there, I was like, wow, this is awesome. You got canyon, you got, point and look at with these forts and everything. And then I see tanks and planes and jeeps being
like
dropped into high bar. I'm like, oh boy, whoa, that's some serious shit down there. And that's like when I started to realize that Cousins was just a job, and there's always different, better things out there. So getting back to it, we were so now I met the Altamores, Jared. And these are the guys who were Evil Empire, who turned into EC.
Now, did you play on Evil Empire, or you got in when they became East Coast Empire?
A double-sided question. I can bang with them, but I wasn't consistent enough to be like rostered.
Okay.
And 2005, end of 2005, beginning of like 2006 off season, is when I really realized that this aspect, these are my boys, I've known them for years, we were going to paintball arena and practicing in the hallway, and that was a real gladiator school in there. I met the New York Dogs with Russ Keish was there, Evil Empire was there, and Nick Criscione's team, Breakthrough, which is the other half of East Coast Empire, and that was his place to be. What was the second question?
I lost my train.
Whatever.
Keep going. You know what I mean?
I know what it was. So I ground up for there, and then Cousins had an X-Ball field now. They tore down the Hyperball field. East Coast Empire just got formed, and I went with them to LA 05. That was my first national tournament, and man, did it fucking suck. It rained for 4 straight days, and I'm talking like straight hurricanes. Like the hotel behind us had landslides. We were playing in, I think it was a horse arena or some type of arena. So we were playing in the middle fairway, the grounds.
Right.
And everything was on a pitch. So everything sloped to us. And it got to the point where players were stealing the skids that the paint used to be on, and what the vendors used to bring all their gear in.
Right.
They were stealing it out of the back of vendors and out of the back of trucks and putting in the pits
So you can stand
so
on
you could stand on it.
Right.
Otherwise, so everybody who knows this, Texas sucks.
Yeah,
The
rains
mud
every
is
time.
crazy. It rains.
Always does every
Picture
year.
that times 3.
Okay.
Not gonna go too crazy. Times 3 is about.
I thought you were gonna say 10, but all right, 3.
10's exaggerated. We're
You're
gonna go with 3. 'Cause 3 is a nice number. The mud was like it just sucked you in.
Yeah, next
Okay.
level. Next level.
The rain was nonstop, and I'm not talking about little rain. No,
This was your first event?
like, are these paintballs or are these fucking raindrops? Like, it was. Yeah, this is my first event,
Oh, boy.
and that was like when I do believe there was no cap on points. It 45 minutes, 2 halves, banging out,
Yeah.
and I was coaching a little bit, and then Nick's dad took over.
Okay.
And it was more like, the sideline coaching from the side, how they did it.
Yeah.
Right back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. Did nothing like, you go here, you go there. That was like up to the players and everything. And they took third. They lost to Aftermath, which had, Goldman, Margot, Dalton. There's always one that I keep
Marcelo.
forgetting. Marcelo. I believe Spicker was on the team. If not, maybe the year after that. Rainey, I believe, came. If not then, just like shortly after.
Legendary team.
Legendary
Yeah.
people who are pros now.
Right.
And I remember running around the pit because Jared and Joey are like at each other's throats because we got enough. There's no coaching on the side or whatever. And I just see Dynasty, coaching them. I'm like, oh, yeah, there's coaches over here.
Yeah.
And so they took third, and that's when I started to really kick into paintball. And like I said, I had good weekends, and then just, Pat, what are you doing out here? And,
Right,
yeah.
And it just went back and forth. So I came to grips that I wasn't going to make it on their team, especially if they're going to go D2 next year.
Okay.
So that's when I got on. That's when me, Chris, Cisco, and Gil made their little team, little cousin rep team called Hybrid. That's when Cousins had the same template jersey,
Right.
and there was 6 different teams.
Yeah.
And then after that, I transitioned to the Timberwolves, and then the
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves, Matacat, Chris Bobel, Pete Montero, and those dudes like.
Who are the older dudes on Timberwolves? Wasn't there some like older dudes?
The guy who does photography and things for Paintball Sports, the magazine.
TJ.
TJ, that's.
And he has the tank.
He had the tank for
Yeah.
Cousins. Yeah,
Right,
He was on the
okay.
team. This guy named Booch, passed away. And that's all I can remember, man.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people played through the Timberwolves.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I played my first tournament with them at GPL,
Okay.
and let me take your tongue. I can't talk right now because this thing's still right. Don't stay up for 24 hours, drink 9 Red Bulls, and only have a granola bar to eat in 100-degree weather playing paintball, thinking you're hot shit wearing a long sleeve shirt under your jersey with full pads. Don't do it. Don't do it. You know what's going to happen? You're going to black out for 20 minutes. You're going to crash into a vending machine and wonder where you are as your team has to forfeit the playoffs because they don't have enough bodies to go out there with.
Damn, dude.
Don't fucking do it, all right? Drink your water. And start the day before. So that was my first real tournament. I did 1 or 2 3-mans, and that was my first tournament. And, I just told, we had to forfeit the game, the playoffs. We just squeaked in. And I spent the car ride home, just my brain melting because I was in a mid-heat stroke and whatever else I was going through.
Dehydrated.
It was bad. It was bad. I don't know what I was thinking, but oh my god.
I mean, you were young, man.
Oh my god.
Young Pat.
Don't do it.
Young Pat getting in fights at Cousins, not doing what's right.
Well, yeah, so don't do it. So after like the Timberwolves kind of imploded, I joined up a Quiet Storm. This is now 2006 area.
Okay.
But me and Chris and Gil and Cisco, my boys that I met at Cousins and pretty much kicked it off with. I can remember days of Halo. We went at it connect the Xboxes between
With the
rooms.
system link,
yeah.
with the cable, dude?
Yes.
I got down with that 100%,
yeah.
dude.
We had like 15 dudes in this house at like every other weekend. It'd be, oh my god, I don't want to run through it, but EC was there,
Right.
Jimmy, Jared, the Altamores, you know, and they whipped our asses. Those dudes was a gun
So they
on the field and off the field, they were fucking
So in
murderers.
Halo and in paintball, you get
Jesus
smacked
Christ,
up by
it was
Robbie.
bad, you know? It was, oh, fuck Robbie, man. I've been on that dude's hip since he was almost like 14 years old.
Yeah.
Almost 18 years of paintball with that dude. He mentions me once in the podcast.
Dude, he felt bad.
Feelings with
He
that.
felt bad.
No,
I'll
what
get
is
it.
that? Oh.
I'll give you this, man. He was like, bro, we gotta redo this. We gotta,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, we just went for an hour. He's like, no, we gotta redo this. I gotta. He's like, Pat's helped me out so much, he'll kill me. Blah blah blah. You know. So.
I paused the podcast and called him at like 10 o'clock at night. Like, dude, I just watched 45 minutes of this. You said me my name once, but no, you know, Robbie knows I got nothing but love for him, man. It is what it is, you know. I know that Space Cadet, once he starts rolling, it's where his spaceship takes him is where he's going. So
Yeah, we're limited there on time too, so.
yeah, you know our feelings. I just had to get that out on air.
In his defense, he did like as soon as we stopped recording, he was like, "Fuck, man." He's like, "What?" I was like, "Dude, I barely talked about Pet. I think I kind of fucked that up."
Nah, it is what it is.
No, we'll get him in bet next time. But so I mean, they were messing you up in Halo and stuff like that.
And you know, that's when the connection between me, Jared, the Altamores, and Jimmy and everybody started to like really kick off. And you know, I was Snaggle, Chris was on Quiet Storm, the Sandalinas, Peter Montero, and I played my first World Cup and we got fourth.
Oh, nice.
We lost
nice.
we lost to Voltage. Legendary team. I think at this moment, I may be wrong, there was a few Aftershock members of the last Aftershock on that team. I might be off by like a year or two
Okay.
of when they actually fizzled out of being pro. But and then we played Miami Rage, who knocked us out, and they went on to first and second. And that had Jerry on the team.
Jerry Devereaux.
You know,
Yeah.
the only Jerry,
Mac Dev,
the only Jerry that matters. You know?
I hear you.
And you know, they were just a serious team. And I once again had to lose to them in Virginia Beach with the Bears, but I'll get there when I get there with that. But yeah, I felt like Miami Rage, Voltage, the Vipers, you know, all these teams that were serious back in the Gridlock guys, or
Gridlock.
the Gridlock Army.
They just come 100 deep, right?
Yeah, if you're not an OG, no one will know this, but if you played Gridlock, you not only had to play Gridlock, who were phenomenal in no matter what division they were in, you had to deal with the Gridlock mom, who would stand on a garbage can and just scream, "Let's get it up, Gridlock," the entire time. And to the point where you wanted to run over and kick that garbage pail out from underneath it. No one did, you know, just saying, but like, it's just like, lady, we get it.
Yeah.
You're with Gridlock, just stop. But they were a serious team. They were part of the trauma
camp.
The trauma camp, and that's back then. That's when like every pro had like a farm.
Yeah, farm team.
Right.
Yeah.
So after 2006, EC has just now won Chicago in D2, Robbie, not D3, D2, and that event was crazy. If you know, that Chicago event was no joke. I can remember vividly the Naughty Leprechauns. If anybody knows Naughty Leprechauns from Paintball Arena, old school team, they were playing, and this is when the sideline can say whatever you want
Yeah.
Right.
into the field, right? And there was his dad, and he was just racially bashing this, I believe, Spanish kid on Leprechauns. And the kid walked over to the net, and he's like, "Yo, you call me that again,
Right.
and I'm gonna fuck you up."
Yeah.
He walks, you know, this is when, so it's X-Ball, so you had 2 minutes to come back on the field, so
Right.
blah, blah, guy makes it on the corner, guy's fucking calling him, whatever
Derogatory
whatever
word, yeah.
bad thing to piss anybody off, and the guy whips out a knife, cuts the net,
Oh, I heard that.
walks through it, and charges the dude. Now, I don't know what happened afterwards, but if I saw that, I'm out.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out, dog.
That was
Wow.
And then Need some water here.
You go ahead.
So it's like Friday. It's early in the prelims, and Miami Rage is playing, and this is old school Rage where, like, you know, you fucked with them, we're gonna bang.
Yeah.
And something happened to where someone's girlfriend or mom or something along those lines was pushed or verbally assaulted or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Right now, back then, the fields had little narrow hallways between them. They weren't net to net, so like golf carts and shit can get through.
Right.
So I'm hearing this now. Crowds forming, yada yada. You know, supporters of Miami Rage are doing whatever, and I'm coaching whatever team that I'm coaching on the sidelines, and I just see Jerry. I believe this guy's name is Skywalker. I could be getting it wrong, but that's his nickname. I see him in a bunch of jerseys. And they're, you know, in boxers, just a few pads. They walk into the crowd, or I should say push their way into the crowd, and next thing you know, it's like a Looney Tunes fucking scene, and I just see chairs and arms and shit going like this in a tornado. And I'm like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Shit's popping off over there. You know, so back then it was real crazy. You know, it was... No one's fucking with my team, no one's fucking with my family, or we're storming you in our boxers with pads.
Yeah.
And we're fucking you up. And that's the event where ECE won against Voltage. And
Right.
The field next to it, No Limit, which had Kevin Conklin, Labella, Frankie Bongiorno.
Frank Bongiorno, Greg Kometz, maybe?
That's as far as my memory's taken.
Okay, I got you.
You know, I got archives of shit that I'm trying to get out there. But as far as Paul Lasker was on the team, they were fighting for 3rd and 4th.
So they were D3 and
They were D3.
Okay.
And ECU was D2.
Okay.
And bro, I remember walking from, this is like, you know, it's 1-1 or 2-1 ECE going back, and then looking over and crowds of people.
Yeah.
And like, there's actually on YouTube, it's ECE versus Voltage.
Seen it.
Chicago 06. It's really grainy. It's a sideline camera, but
It's back in the day,
on YouTube.
It's a mob.
And when that guy pans, it doesn't do it justice. Because you had people on the fence. Then you had at least 3 to 4 rows of shoulder to shoulder from end to end. Then it was people on chairs and on tables. Standing up. And then there was the vendors on top of their trailer.
Like the paint trailer, or like, so to speak, yeah.
And no joke, there were more people there watching the pro, whatever was going on in pro. I shit you not. It was crazy. And, you know, the East Coast guys, they had the Timberwolves, a few supporters of ECE, nothing like let's say 15 the most.
Right.
And the rest of it was all Midwest crew.
Yeah.
All Midwest crew. And I can remember just when they won that final point, and this is when Jared couldn't play with them. Jared was actually playing on Red Legion, the Russian Legion's baby team.
Right.
With, I want to say Bobby Avilas. Might be wrong, but I'm almost positive it was Bobby Avilas, who Jared was playing with them as a guest. And it was me, Jared, Nick's dad, the Timberwolves. They won, and me and Jared just fucking looked at each other and just stormed right through every security checkpoint, hopping fences, you know, and just celebrating with them. And it was an unreal moment.
Yeah.
Unreal moment. All the battles with Aftermath and D3, they just, that rock that we just kept on hitting and couldn't get over. Then it was like Miami Rage. They beat us in Texas. This is when Texas was hailing on us. Like, it was that cold in Texas. Once again, Texas, you know, just, it was hail. There was literally hail coming down on us. They took, I want to say second, they lost to Rage. And we had Nicky Vegas coaching us. Jeez, that dude was a maniac. I don't know a story about him, but I don't know what you guys want to do.
We're going to actually have Vegas on soon. So
Next week.
We'll get him
Well,
in.
he can corroborate it,
Corroborate.
whatever the hell that word is, you know, about this one moment. So it was crazy. It was a very surreal moment, just winning after, you know, all this time and being with the guys and feeling that joy. And I'll just never forget the crowd. Like, all Aftershock is right there, you know. And it was crazy, just the gloom of the place and everything. But that Nicky Vegas story, I'll say before we go crazy. So Nicky Vegas was in transition between Excessive and I believe that team Energy.
Energy.
Okay.
Energy was their
like,
like semi-pro team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He was helping out ECE, and I was still like tagging along at this point, and something happened where they were doing a scrimmage. You know, 5. Vegas was playing with that 5. This 5's going on, and he actually had Goldberg, Brian Goldberg, on his team. And at this point, I believe Vegas is dating Goldberg's sister.
Oh.
So whatever. Vegas believes somebody cheating him, and now Vegas is coming towards me.
Mm-hmm.
He just stands up and does a complete lap around the field. And it didn't matter who you were, you got fucking shot. His team, the enemy team, just a full lap. And he got to Goldberg's bunker. Goldberg's now in a tower. These guys must see each other, I don't know, 5 times a week. You're dating your sister back then.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
I don't know how old Vegas was. I'm sure he
Right.
was a couple years older than us. We were teenagers transitioning 20s. And just puts a barrel to the back of the dude's head and takes his kufi off. Just da 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 da. And I'm like, oh my God. And he starts screaming at the top of his lungs, if I'm coaching you, you don't cheat, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, damn. You basically just blew your brother-in-law's head off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, from point blank. You did a full lap around the field. How he didn't get shot, I have no idea. Destroyed everybody. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, I don't want to be that coach, but if I ever become a coach, that's the fury I want to bring.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me for a while. That you can just walk up to your boy and just laser beam his head right off his head.
Yeah, give
His
him
head off his head.
CTE.
You know what I'm saying? But that's just, that's how it was back then. It was just brutal. Bloody knuckles,
Yeah.
that EC drill, just running up and down the hallway at each other, just demolishing. I have scars on my hand from fighting Robbie for fucking years.
Right.
And him just being better than me and just destroying my knuckles, Yeah, it was crazy. I'm kind of lost where we're going.
All good, man. That's how podcast works.
Yeah.
So kind of, I know you were saying it was crazy back then. So, I know this is going down a little bit different of a path, but I know you recently worked my event,
Which one?
the TSXL. So, with that being said, was the intensity that you saw there similar to the altercations that we saw at the event? Or was that something completely different entirely?
Well, there's aspects that were. Obviously, defending yourself, no matter what the case may be, at your event did occur back in the day. Now, teams that are on that national level playing the NXL, they have a little bit more composure to where they'll eat all that shit coming at them,
All right.
get that team the penalty, and then walk away from it,
Right.
rather than retaliating. So I don't fault any of the people that played the event for retaliating, defending yourself or defending your boy or whatnot.
Right.
But at the same time, paintball has transitioned to where we're not trying to do that no more. It sucks, and you want nothing more to just, cap that dude that just demolished your boy. You have to learn to eat it now,
Yeah.
especially on the national level, to where you're putting your team in a better spot for just taking.
Right. If you just
Whatever,
if
yeah.
you just eat it, they look dumb. They get the penalties
I even
and stuff
said
like
it.
that.
I even said it at. I think it was Brave. There was a video that someone posted, or I might have been watching or whatnot, where the horn went off. End game. That end game where it's still like carrying over that 1 extra second. You're
Right.
just like, just a little extra.
Right.
It is what it is. I've done it. I've seen people do it. I've watched people do it. You just floating that line. So the Brave took that extra, and then if it wasn't one, it was 2 guys, retaliated and put it downfield. And I just walked over and I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
All you had to do was eat that. They would have been screwed. You would have went, it would have been
Fine.
just fine.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was so frustrated with the day because I was calling penalties like that. Just like, what are you doing, man? It sickens me. I got to throw this penalty on you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, just like walking out with 5 hits on your pack and then hanging the buzzer, even though your boy just checked you. Like what? Like what? Like, come on. Like, walking on the dead box with hits all over you. You were just in the pit for 3 minutes. You got an entire line, a coach, and backup, and no one could wipe you off, and now you're stepping onto my box with like a dirty pack and yelling at me that I didn't wipe you off. That's not my job, homie. Doing you a favor by, giving you a little But if I get you 10 hits on your fucking pack, get the fuck off my field.
All right.
So, getting back to your question, it's some aspects, yes. That guy running on this field to defend his boy, yes, absolutely. Benches would have cleared back in the day, if shit like that happened. Anybody would have tagged anybody. Refs, lay down, because you're not stopping us, There was, I'm going to go back to Miami Rage, because they're like imprinted in my brain. They just, can remember a few times where they stormed the field. Did what they had to do. It was a recent event.
Dude, Rage is like that, though. I heard something with, like, I think it's a dirter video or a push or something. They're like, yo, they should just come out with their brass knuckles, because they're not going to beat us on the field.
Yes. That was not recently, but a handful of years ago. This is when we were still playing with the Bears. Once again, don't know the full, my memory's not all right there, but I can remember the gist of it. Something happened, penalty, they didn't like it, whatever the case may be. Maybe words were exchanged between ref or whatnot. They came on the field, started a fucking brawl with, I believe, were the Bloodhounds, if memory serves. I remember gray jerseys. I think it was the Bloodhounds. Anyway, they came out, did what they had to do, scuffled with either the ref or the guy, and then dipped. Like, okay, we just put our hands on somebody, we need to be the fuck out. And just left the tournament. And in the video, you could see Joey running around the field as this shit's going down, red flags still flying, picking up whatever pot he could find in a fucking Bears jersey. Just do. We weren't playing. We weren't on that set. It was hilarious. I remember that video was like right behind, back right. I remember that video, man. That was fucking Marvin comes back with a whole sack full of, his jersey full of pods. Like, what are you doing?
That's too funny.
I'm on the mission, son.
We need those.
We need them.
That's too funny.
Yeah, so, but then there's other shit that they were doing. Like that dude in that video, it's a trade. That leverage guy rounded in the corner. It's a trade, maybe a little extra. Maybe the leverage guy had a hit on him that the nasty guy saw.
Right.
And a ref was not en route or immediately coming to get him, that the nasty guy thought that there could have been a penalty. Whatever the case may be. Put your hands on somebody.
Yeah.
Dude, you should have just been like, you know what I mean? You should have put your hand up, or you know what I mean? Yo, dude.
Right.
Once you put your hand on the dude, and then once the leverage dude stuck his barrel to the other dude's head, now you're both.
I don't care if you
I don't know. You gotta sell
in front of him,
it. You gotta sell it. You know what I mean?
Don't put your hand on him.
You can't put your hands on him. Now, I didn't have that vantage point. I was on Nasty's side behind that big brick.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So all I saw, all I heard was just
the commotion.
Rah.
Yes.
So now the point is now stopped by one of my refs. And I walk over like, hey, what the fuck's going on? And then I hear, player-to-player contact, yada yada. And, not to fault you.
Right.
We'll
go at it.
You do, but I believe I wanted both dudes done.
Suspended for the day, 100%.
And the guy who, I'm sorry, no, that was a different game. Majors, whatever which way, but like I said, I'm not nitpicking and whatnot, but you can't put your hand on anybody.
Right.
I don't care if it's a backyard tournament or a national event. Once your hand touches that guy in a violent manner, you're done.
Right.
It is what it is. If it's practice, all right, it's practice.
Squabble it out.
Squabble it out, go in the trees, make sure no kid's seeing you. It is what it is. But, once, the zebras are around you, you can't be doing shit like that.
Right.
It doesn't matter what it is. Bro, I remember running in and just looking at a guy like, bro, you have a face hit. What are you doing? Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, I'm sure there's a video, or I literally was in the 50 and just looking at it and so disgusted I had to throw this penalty on this dude. You're winning the game. It's a playoff game. And you're rocking a face hit. And I'm just and I literally stood there for 5 seconds just where's my flag? Who am I pulling? Where am I going? Just okay, 1, 2, 3. And the audacity for the guy to look at me and be like, yo, where am I hit? Where am I hit? And I'm like, you're wiping it off. Going like this as you're saying, where am I hit, is not the same as where am I hit?
Yeah.
So, it was a little crazy. Definitely Reffing the tournament wise, one of the wildest times I had
Ever.
Like, I've been shot on purpose before, but it doesn't bother me.
Right.
I've been around paintball 18 years. Your 3 shots you put at me is not going to affect me.
Right.
And you trying to shoot at me while I'm looking at you, like, I'm literally pulling the Matrix as you're running away from me. Like, it's
Been around it a long
It
enough.
doesn't matter to me. But you got to, like leverage. I've known Troy for, I don't know, 6 years. I know Yambo for 6 years. I put them in a serious hole in the beginning of that event, the first 2 games that they played. Your boys are cheating. Whether it's deliberate or not, the pack hit running out to the corner, I see a penalty, I'm throwing a penalty.
Yeah, we did a lot of penalties thrown on them.
My boy
People
Yabo,
ejected. People were sat for matches.
Yeah.
People, you know what I mean.
My boy Yabo, I'm going to like maybe 3 or 4 weddings with him. Same circle of crews, been on a handful of teams of mine. I've known him for years. Just went to a bachelor party with him, and everything. And it's like, yo, Pat, you're fucking me. Like, come on, I thought we were boys. I'm like, Yabo, man. Like, listen.
Oh, fuck it, we're boys.
The jersey's on, homie.
Yeah.
This is my jersey. That's your jersey. I catch your boy messing up. I'm gonna throw even their coach of their team,
Tom.
I've known him for probably just the same long time as I know Troy, and I'm just like, yo, man, I'm sorry. Your boy had a fucking hit on his hopper. You're getting a penalty. Your boy spun on that dude. You're getting a penalty. I'm not trying to fuck you. I'm not like you think I'd be trying to help you. No. Like,
No.
Yeah.
But the thing with them was they got their composure. They dug back from every hole that either they put themselves in or I put them in or my crew put them in.
Well, they put them in. At the end of the day, really, they put themselves
Whatever,
in because
I'm not the only guy throwing penalties out there. I threw the more significant ones throughout the day, but my refs were all over the place with penalties.
Yeah.
They dug deep, they focused, and they wound up winning the event. Where I thought Nasty was going to win. Nasty looked pretty good.
Nasty looked great, dude.
I only threw, me personally, maybe 2 like little bullshit minors besides that whole scuffle that happened with leverage. Mm-hmm. And I've known those dudes for a while too. At least their coach. Plenty of battles with him with the Bears. Mm-hmm. Plenty of battles going back and forth with Nasty, with Chipley and Emil on their team and everything. So it's not like I was out to screw anybody.
No, man.
And I was doing my best, calling a fair. The newbies, shout out to the newbies. You guys did a great job reffing. The hand signals, the no fear running into the 50, checking dudes. And for that guy, I don't remember your name, man, but I told you to check a dude at the last 5 minutes a day. I told you to check a dude, and you took a shit right to the chin, and at the end of the day, he had like a melon. I felt so fucking bad because it was like a what if, like maybe I saw something.
Yeah.
And as soon as he went in, no fear, just bang. As soon as bang, it was like, yeah, that dude's clean. Fuck you, Pat. Like, oh man, I'm sorry, dude. His jaw was rocked. So whoever you are, man, my apologies. You did a sick job throughout the whole day. All you guys did. We even had the guy come down from Thunder.
Mark.
Yes, Mark. He was a sick ref. I actually had to go to him and be like, hey, I'm a little gray on this area. How does that apply, this penalty? And he, we talked for like maybe 10 seconds. I'm like, you're 100% right. Mm-hmm. So, if you're asking if I would do it again,
might need to bump up that pay. Might need to bump up that pay.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But that was definitely rough,
Yeah, man. I appreciate you coming out, but kind of, reverting back to your kind of history in the game. So it's it's voltage, it's ECE. ECE just took the win. Right. What kind of? So back when that
D2, I'm playing on Quiet Storm, and a funny fact, I actually went semi-pro before ECE. It's kind of a loophole default. So
with Quiet Storm.
With Quiet Storm, and this is why it's a little loophole. So this is like 2007, 2006 area, down at Gridlock's home field in the Carolinas. They didn't have a pro event. There was no pro division. And the semi-pro or D1 or open class, whatever you want to call it back then, you were allowed 3 pro players on your team. So I had 3. So Quiet Storm picked up 3 Trauma players.
How did that happen?
Pete Montero.
Oh, okay.
I want to say through Pete Montero because Pete Montero was deep into the game. He was at Generation E and Cousins. Those Generation E was the first people to make Matrix.
They made the Matrix.
And then Die bought
the
from
Matrix.
them. Right.
And Jenny was Long Island, right?
Jenny was in Comac area, I want to say.
Okay.
And for all of you with ABS, Annie Boltstick, if you blew that shit on your Matrix, you just went down to their place and they did whatever they did with the fucking computer and whatnot.
Reflashed it.
Reflashed it so you didn't have Annie Boltstick. So that first shot, you wouldn't, you would shoot.
So it would be like 350.
Yeah. And you can crank that little, crank that regulator up on the front right there, So then Die bought them out, and then they made the DM3, which is basically the same model, same look. Yeah. And then they made the DM4, which I consider the fish. It looks like a fish to me when you take the barrel off.
Yeah. I have a DM4.
Yeah. Those things were bricks.
Dude.
It's huge.
Dude, I mean, it's 101. It's like a white digital.
Yeah.
White digital print.
I remember when pink was like the hottest thing.
Right?
Fedorov did it for one event, and everybody had to have the pink JTs. The pink flexes,
JT
the pink
team pants.
Yeah, the team pants. Yeah, with the big JT logo on, when the robot legs. Yes, I remember those. I don't know what.
I'm sorry, guys. I got to pee real quick. I'll be right back.
That's all good.
Where you going? So what the hell are we talking about? So yeah. So
you guys played with Trauma, basically.
I played with Trauma. And
in Open, right? Open, was it called Open back then?
I think it was called Open, D1, Semi-Pro, like
Open Expo or something like that.
Expo, whatever it was. We didn't do so good, but I did get to shoot Jason Trojan.
Oh, nice.
It was a good event, but that was like the downward climb for me. In the paintball atmosphere. The teams I were on, Quiet Storm, would do great and then fall. Timberwolves do great and fall. Teams were imploding that I was on. East Coast Empire was just reaching their peak and then coming down to their downward fall before they went to Riptide and then MOD Robbie. So it was a very void in my paintball career at that moment. I spent the next couple years bouncing between teams that really weren't going anywhere. Not to knock them at all great guys. Like I played on the Jersey Rangers. They didn't do so great. That's what I was with Chris Straza, who owns Battle Creek now.
Yeah. Okay.
Played with him for a few years, 1-2 years, bouncing between teams or practices, but he's always like in the mix with me.
Yeah. And he was on Quiet Storm for a bit too, right?
Was he on Quiet Storm? I don't. Maybe after I left.
Okay.
Going into the 2007 season.
Okay.
Is when I kind of detoured off of them. I think they only did one more, maybe 2 more events.
Okay.
Into that season. But this is when I lost track with the East Coast Empire guys. They're banging out the tournaments.
Right.
They're going to MOD now. So we would hang out here and there. We'd practice, of course, when they were home.
In town.
But it started to float away from me. I met up with JK, and I played with the Caretakers, 7-man.
Caretaker.
Yeah. Playoff, first round, second round playoff team, but didn't have the depth to go any further. But all, good time. I was playing with Cisco, my boy, Joey Spax, who I'm now playing with again with AKA. I was playing a few events with Conklin. And, the original members of AKA. And for all you people, Chris, Cisco, and Gil made AKA Ag Kid Army way before all the people rocking Ag now are. Back in 2003, 2004 in his basement, watching CKY videos and shit. I'm not going to say why they made the name, but it was definitely trolling another group with somewhat similar name. We'll let you fill in the blanks on that one.
And does that group now a prominent paintball company?
AK?
No,
Oh,
no.
oh, yes.
The other group.
That other group is definitely a prominent shooting star right now.
Okay.
Maybe not be the same people. I probably doubt it is, but, you know.
That's your little hint.
That's your hint.
That's
if
it.
you didn't catch it already.
That's it. Comment below.
So, they made AK, and like I said, I was with, there's another video on YouTube of their first Expo event was my first tournament I had a ref.
Oh, wow.
And
That was the Cousins.
That was the Cousins Expo Light.
Okay.
It's on YouTube. And this is when Cousins, they already ripped down the high-vi field, and their airball field was on straight sand and rocks.
Yeah.
You know, there's no sliding. Everybody's running and gunning behind your gun.
Yeah.
That is it.
15 BPS days, though.
15 PBS. And half the bunkers, you all privileged assholes out there. You know, that's... You wanted to see some crazy runs and crazy moves, that was the era. You know, just like there's one video that No Limit put out. They have a perfect angle of just 4 different streams in perfect unison, just going like this, and you see Mike Hansen come into frame in between this checkered board of gunfire, drop, gun up to like the 40, and then paint just like, you know, changing directions. I'm going a little off on that right now, but
That's all right.
in my brain, it's just unreal the amount of paint was in the air.
Yeah.
And there you go. I knew it was going to happen. I lost my train of thought.
So you're repping the Expo Light,
That
AKA.
was my first tournament I had a ref with AK. I was with Quiet Storm, and they were playing, and they won. They won their second, and then the team just didn't like really go anywhere from that. You know, we won a whole bunch of 3-man. Me, Chris, and Conklin. We won a whole bunch of Cousins 3-man. I was in a magazine. TJ put me in that magazine.
Paintball Sports?
Paintball Sports magazine. Had a full like page with the me, the gun and everything, with the whole writing around it. Shit was sick.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah. And, you know, that was the 2 teams I had. And then once I hit 2010, that's when, like, the area where the 7-man, like, fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
And East Coast Empire took their, or MLD at the time, they took their little hiatus area, and paintball just, like, dropped. Now I'm no longer hanging out with the paintball crew. I'm hanging out with the ref crew. And, you know, it was another void in my life. I was having fun with my dudes there, but I was still missing that release, that energy that paintball gives you. And, you know, that era between 2000, like, I'm getting shaky right now, between 2010, 2013 era was a real shitty time in my life, you know. The group of friends I had split. I lost a lot of like childhood animals, and then, you know, my dad passed shortly after that. And if it wasn't for paintball coming back in my life again, now with NWO and the East Coast Empire guys, but now taking on the name Leverage, I don't know where I was going, you know. And that 2013, that's when the era when Strike Force bought the Christmas Tree Farm out in Calverton.
Right.
And it was sick.
Dude, I was there.
It was sick.
I was there like I worked at High Velocity Outdoors at the time, and it was something where I was like, yo, I'll work Saturday, I'm taking off Sunday. And I was there like the first 4 or 5 weekends, and the Jesters were coming, and I felt like it was,
oh my God,
it was a big revival.
The Jesters.
Like mad old heads were coming back out. And I remember like the first layout was like, it was like a 7-man layout, and it reminded me of an old Expo layout because there wasn't a lot of bunkers.
Nope.
Yeah.
You remember that, right? There wasn't.
Do I remember? I remember, man.
And there was the U, and I remember, and on like I said, the Jesters came out, Lith came out, mad old people,
people I haven't seen in ages came out.
Yeah.
And I was real gung ho about it, and I was like, yes, we got paintball back. It's
back, baby. That's how I.
Know, other than Cousins having the expo field under the trees, let's call it, in the picnic area, and then when they moved it out to the parking lot and like the Sahara over there. That wow, man, crazy memories on that field. Doug Sinzabah almost dying of heat stroke on that field. Fights breaking out on that field. Watching the East Coast Empire Quiet Storm practices up on the mountains, because they basically dug this field out of maybe a 30-foot on the one side and maybe 15-foot hill on the other side, just sand and rocks. Once again, live behind your gun and just run and shoot, and either I'm gonna make it or you're not gonna make it.
Yeah. One of us ain't making it to our spots.
That's during that era. 6, 7 is where I really was doing work. That's when I had no fear going coast to coast.
Mm-hmm.
I called out East Coast Empire on one-on-ones, and I beat 4 out of the 5 of them, and I tied Robbie on my 5th.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing, it was a joke at the time, but the joke was if I shoot all you guys, I'm on the team.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I tied Robbie, but I was, the Crab beat, Tommy Giggles beat. I can't remember the other 2, but they're there. I remember them. Smoked them. Me.
This guy.
Damn, those good times. Anyway.
So you're back at Strike Force.
Yeah, so Strike Force is kicking off. Everybody's coming out of the woodwork. I do a 7-man with this team called ECC, East Coast Cartel Crisis. I don't know what it was. With my boy Ferris, call him Black. I got his permission, so don't.
Ferris Armstrong.
Ferris Armstrong, yeah.
Yeah, they're back, baby.
Yeah. And then the Illuminati started popping off. The Gil Illuminati. So Gil, Wood.
I used to call them the Laminati.
Yeah, it's the Gilati. The Gil Illuminati. So watch your mouth over there.
That was his 3-man drawing or whatever.
He started popping off, and then he just exploded with a bunch of people. Not actually sure if he made the team, but definitely took it over in some fashion. And then they transitioned to NWO, which we'll split off there. And now Robbie and the Altamores are now.
Wait, quick interjection though. Did you play? This is when the CTS was going down.
Mm-hmm.
They played the one time, and it was it was legal, but it was straight sandbagging. It was Jared, Gil,
me,
Richie Passy. Oh, so you were on that team. And it wasn't, it was the first event they were Street Logic, and then the next event it was AKA,
yeah.
Right? That was when AKA popped up.
My bad, man.
No, it's all good. So you played that one.
Yeah, man.
But it worked out good because it was the ranking worked, and then the next thing it didn't work because that's when Leverage came back, and then they were ranked up after that.
So yeah, well, Jared at this point is coming off of the MOD run, which he was about to be pro. So I don't remember how
But MPPL didn't have APPA, so he was D3.
Right.
Yeah, it worked good. It worked good.
Don't tell me, I know.
Okay.
I'm already deep into the game at this point.
All right.
So, Gil basically makes the phone call and links everybody up, and it's Gil, Jared Sesser, who plays on the Bears, Richie Picciano, who played with the Bears, Steve Cheminsky,
Yeah.
and me.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Nice little local win right there.
just cut right through everybody.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Played Doyle in the finals.
I don't fucking remember who I played. All I know is
As it was a
it
beatdown.
was just fucking I have archives of shit.
Because that was my first.
Forever, yeah.
That was my first 5-man. And you guys beat Resurrection, which was Doyle's team, which Doyle got all of them re-ranked to fucking play whatever, and they were playing D5 3-man.
It obviously didn't work.
It didn't work.
Doing
They
my
got
way
second.
is better.
They got second.
Doing
They got
my way is
second.
better.
They got second. You know what I mean? And I think Gil got. I think Gil played 3-man the day before too and won or got second or something like that.
That I don't know because I wasn't part of that. I was only a part of it.
Oh, you're only part of
It
the
was
street
cold
legend.
that day. There's pictures of me. I'm freezing my ass off. I got snot coming out of my nose. My face is all reddish. I was cold. I was miserable. And it was.
You took home the axes, bro.
Yeah, we took home the axes. I shot that thing for a while too.
The one you won?
Yeah.
That's sick.
My ego is so trash at this point. It was like fuck, man.
It's probably
like
it
was the second run of egos. I remember that.
It was like an 05.
Yeah, it was the second one of egos. I had a Jersey Rangers, a stiffy on it. And this thing was scratched to fuck. And I had one baldy tent. This thing was just a confetti sprayer. And I didn't give a shit. I just went out there and just elevated a little bit.
Yeah.
Turn that velocity down just a little bit and just elevate it. You're good. And that was my first new gun of past 2012 era. And I shot that thing for a while. That thing was sick. That first run of axes was sick. Heavy as fuck, but those things shot.
Shot.
Beautiful.
Yeah, shot, man.
So we did that, and then we had like a new team. I took first, second, third, first. I played the 3, and then I believe I coached the last one.
Okay.
And during this time, NWO, they did the Foxball. I coached them. We won that.
Because
Nick Ball actually was reffing.
Oh yeah.
Right before he dipped. Or maybe like
because 187 used to
right.
187 used to rep Foxball.
Yeah, exactly. This was like as 187 was taking off.
Oh wow.
They Nick Ball reffed my thing. Lisa, I'm 100% positive with Sam, but if it's not, my bad. But
no, I do.
I remember looking right in that those.
We went up there and I remember not Nick but I remember Mantoni reffing.
Mantoni, yeah.
I remember Painter reffing it. Because we played Foxball a couple times. So, you're I forget what year, was it, 2013?
I believe this was 12. 12 or 13.
12
was when NWO won that Foxball.
Right. So, AKA ends up becoming, it's kind of, it's similar. Not all the same. Because Wood,
so
Ali.
Hang on, let me stop. You ask me questions. You got to stop here, right? I'll tell the stories here.
All right.
So AKA members were Snaggle and Gill.
Right.
Illuminati members were Gill, Wood, Sully, Dave. I want to say Rick Ryberg. If I'm mistaken, I'm sorry.
No, I don't think Rick was. Lockwood.
Lockwood, and then the people that fizzled out, which are not really
Illuminati dudes. I hear you.
Illuminati dudes, they became NWO. So I was trying to get on the new Altamore, Jared, Nick team. This is when they went to GPL, beat the new Avalanche.
Right.
Became Leverage. I was trying to get onto that team now. Now they have a team name is Leverage, out of Longmouth Paintball. And that consisted of the Altamores, Jared, Nick, Richie Picciano, Troy, and let's just say me, like in the shadows. Not really on the roster, but just there trying to claw my way back up.
Right.
And it was after World Cup that I got into a serious car accident of 2013, 14 area. It's the one where NWO took third in Cup. I got into a serious car accident, traveling down a main road in Coram, 40 miles an hour, down Middle Country Road, and this lady went to go from a side street, shoot the gap across the lanes.
Oof.
And now, all right, so play a scenario out for you. I'm cruising behind a car number 1, let's call it. He decides he needs to come down the side street that this lady's trying to come out of, on the right-hand side of me. He goes to make that quick, 35-mile-an-hour turn.
Yeah.
Out of the corner of his eye is a bicyclist. He sees him, pounds on his brakes. Now, as I'm cruising up to that scenario as it's happened within the 1 or 2 seconds, right?
Right.
That blue car number 1, blocks the side street lady from seeing me. So I swerved to avoid this guy whose ass end went up in the air.
Right.
That's when the lady decides to shoot the gap and realizes she's not going to make it across the next set of lanes.
Right.
Comes to a dead stop. Now remember, this is all happening within 1 to 3 seconds. So as I'm veering away from the guy's ass just went up in the air, here comes the car. 30 feet in front of me. And I have a split second to decide if I'm going to crash right into her front door, right? Or aim for the engine block. Just by like a little bit of a turn. That's how much time I had. Just like a little quick. Mom! Right into the front tire. T-boner. I do a 180 down the side street where she's trying to go. Through the oncoming traffic. I send her skidding out down the road. And all I remember is climbing out of my window. And then waking up in the hospital. That's all I really remember. Little flashes here and there. And it was fucking scary, man. That's my first like major car accident on purpose. And when that airbag goes off, and that whine that is in your ear, and you just seeing the world go like this, it's fucking wild. So eventually what happened was I blew out 2 discs in my neck.
Dang.
And that pretty much was, it for me playing, like gung-ho.
Right.
At first it was real hard, doing normal shit, and to this day, like, if I look up like this, I get a shooting pain through my neck. Just right arm tingles every once in a while. It's a lot better, but back then it was bad. I can remember playing a high vibe one time. I dive into the snake and I try to come up, on that quick, like one-handed, kind of Goonie style, try to shoot cross field.
Yeah.
And this overwhelming pain was in my neck. I thought I got shot. And I come off like holding my neck, and Jared's like, "Yo, what are you doing?
You're good."
And I'm like, "I got shot." And he looks at me, he's like, "Yo, you're not shot." I'm like, "Really?" Like, I feel like I'm, it feels like I just got fucking bunkered. And it's just my, my
nerves.
My nerves in my neck getting slammed on by my discs. So I spent 3 years in physical therapy. And I'd still be doing physical therapy if my insurance didn't cancel it and my lawsuit, got deaded. So that was the end of my career as playing. And that's when Leverage transitioned to New England Avalanche.
All right.
And now Big Russ got permission to use the Avalanche name. And he brought it over to Jim Kim's Field at Longlive. And the ECE guys, Leverage, absorbed the name to Avalanche. So we had a D1 Avalanche, which was Big Russ's crew. And we had
Avalanche 2.
D2 Avalanche 2. And I believe we made it to Sunday, both teams, every time. Just missing the, second round knockout.
Top 8 or whatever
round,
it is.
Top 8. You can never climb that hurdle. And it wasn't until, I want to say 2014, MAO, that we finally beat our nemesis at that time, which was Prime. And Prime, I believe, became Katana.
A lot of the same dudes.
And then, merged into Pro.
All right.
And the only reason why I know this is because when I was on NYX, I practiced at Katana's field. And
I heard it's nice, dude.
Oh my God, it was beautiful.
I heard it
was. I don't know if that field is still up, but that field, fuck man, I just had where it was, that date and address in my head. It just went Sue, but I don't know.
It was like in Alabama or some one of those states.
Georgia, yeah, I think it was in Georgia.
I'm not too sure, but I know it's nice, dude.
Wherever it was,
and it's a private field. It's not like a
yes. It
it's
was
not
a
like
private field. This dude has like farmland. I was bullshitting with this guy for forever. I'm horrible with names, man. I almost forgot your name as I try to talk to you.
No, it's all right, man. It's all good.
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful field. He had 2 like birds' nests up here on the 50s, so you can look down.
Yeah.
The grass was immaculate. He had like these overhangs, like if you go to like a park, they have like a little building with these overhangs on them, water fountains and shit. It was awesome. It was probably one of the nicest fields I've been to. And I walked in with the coach, and it's just like, yo, I played you at that event. I played you at this event. You took that medal from me, you bastard. I took that medal from you, you fuck. And,
it's just funny how it all comes together, dude.
It was so
the same dudes you were banging with back.
Back then are pros now.
Yeah.
I have a picture, and you brought this up. I try to show you. It's from World Cup 05. It's me, LJ Woodley, all the EC guys.
It's the Aftermath ECE one. I've seen it.
Right in front of me, it's Goldman, Margot's off my right-hand shoulder, Dalton is right in front of me, like kneeling down or like jumping in the screen.
Yeah.
And once again, I forget the third, the fourth guy. Was it Margot, Spica,
Marcelo, Dalton.
Marcelo, Dalton,
Maybe, whatever.
and there's one more I always forget. But if you know who you are, you know.
Reach out, comment.
Standing right there, right next to me. Like, and I'd be banging these dudes, banging out with these guys for years. And now, almost every person that I played against in 06 or 07 or were part of that era are now pros.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It sucks.
No, I get it.
Hurts me that the East Coast Empire guys never got picked up by any team that eventually went pro in X-Ball. Not in 7.
Now, kind of going on that. Do you think the reason why? Because I know Robbie alluded to it in the episode, and he's very humble and things like that. Do you
always
think it's bad timing? Luck, bad timing. Do you think there's also a little bit, and I've even kind of said it, and I don't want to, because I believe if you really want to do it, you'll be able to. But do you think it's a who you know thing? Do you think it's because they kind of never, because kind of talking about Robbie said that they were in their group. Like, they would stay in their group. They would go to the field. They never networked or anything like that. Do you think that's like...
It's pretty much all that in one ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, back then, like, what is it, like, 8, 9, 10 years ago, it was very, like, territorial. You had the West Coast, the Midwest guys, the West Coast, the South, the East Coast, and they all kind of banded together in one aspect or another. Of course, there's rivalries here and there. But the East Coast guys, we really didn't have much. It was like a few New York teams, and they, for the most part, secluded themselves. Unless my experience, that was the case. And it's also just region, the timing. Those guys are pretty young.
Right.
The ages that they were at, they really weren't traveling by themselves to bounce, especially not to be going out to a California team or whatnot like that.
Right.
It lucked out for Woodley, LJ, because he went to Chicago, I believe, for college.
Mm-hmm.
And then he played with Altitude, and then I believe Distortion, and then he went to Heat.
Right.
He had the avenue to do that. Now I'm sure there was fights and struggles along the way, but, from my eyes, that was the main path that he took, fill in the blanks as Woodley would do. And for us, the closure of the 7-man league, which was at that time East Coast Empire or MOD's specialty, there being next to no fields in the tri-state area.
Yeah, back then, yeah.
Back then, you had, like I said, Cousins, who had the deserts.
Yeah.
High-Vi had a field, but then,
yeah.
I wound up on the road.
You're right.
Also,
real quick, before we get too much longer, for a YouTube audience, at some point in time, the video is going to go out because I'm going to run a room on the memory card. Keep following the podcast because we're going to keep the conversation going. I'm not exactly sure when that's going to happen. I think it's going to happen somewhere in the next 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But
this is cutting me off.
No. It's just I'm going to run a memory card on the video camera, but the audio is going to keep going. So if you want to keep hearing the conversation, you got to hop off YouTube and get the podcast wherever you find it anywhere. And, okay, so I don't kind of interject there. Sorry.
No, it's all good. Yeah, so and then once again, not having an owner who's willing to dump money for almost no kickback. Next to no kickback. Back in the day, the pros were winning cars and stuff.
It's the memory card.
Mustangs and Hummers and shit like that. And now it's like, here's your $10 medal and a little bit of entry fee and maybe some paint.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of kickback. So that's, and also I feel like those guys had like a black cloud, luck. They always had a fight to get to the top of the mountain, even though, in my opinion, they should have always been there. Whatever, a penalty, a bad play call, a stupid move, they're better than that. They're better than that one moment, that 1 minute, that one mistake, to fall that way.
Right.
I'm kind of not really saying it the right way, but, You get what I'm trying to say.
Right, when they need that one thing to kind of go
yeah,
their way.
they could be flawless, and then one guy makes a hiccup, but that one hiccup costs them the tournament.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like the universe should have gave them that one hiccup back here because they're so consistent.
Right.
Or whatever. You know,
right. Eventually, because they've been through it so many times.
Yeah.
Something should have. You know, the paintball gods should have allowed something to go through their way.
Exactly. You know, but that's just me. You know, my opinion and everything.
Well, it's because your
everybody
boys
feels like that. You know, it's your boys.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So now at this point, when they transitioned, so now leverage is popping off. We get third in Cali, and man, that was a beautiful event. Me, Nick, and Robbie went out to Vegas a few days beforehand. Had a good time in Vegas, and then drove to Cali.
Awesome.
And we took third there, and that's when I met Baracco in that time period. And what an awesome dude, Baracco, man, one of a kind guy, man.
Definitely.
Funniest dude I know. You know, great heart, just a great dude. You know, and then back then, you know, Baracco was a little bit lighter on his feet. Sorry, Baracco, you know. But he had just an overwhelming knowledge of the field, and he could read a field and just capitalize on it. And he pulled out some serious moves during that event. I just wish, you know, he was a front player stuck in like a big man's body, a mid-man's body. And it just sucks because that dude had so much heart and potential and just spirit for everything, for life, for the game, and I had very, very good memories rocking with Baracco. Love you, man. Good dude. So now we transitioned to Avalanche, and this is when I'm starting to coach more. You know, I would go down to every practice, driving to Long Live in my mom's fucking van, the bus.
It's infamous.
The bus of cars, man.
The infamous bus. The infamous van.
I didn't almost, but we almost lost all of NWO in that bus. And I'm like, this is no exaggeration. We were 3 feet from losing at least 4 dudes dead on impact, smush, right? And I'm gonna say about maybe 3 to 4 others being fucked up. So we're reffing a fucking big game.
Dark Ops.
Fuck you, cousins. Deep in the sticks of Jersey, you know, in these backwood fucking towns. And it's me driving. I got Rick the Brick sitting up front. I got Woodley. Not Woodley. I'm sorry. Wood. I got Sully. Jesse.
Was Granado in that van?
Gil. I believe Travis was in there. I got the crew. You know, I got everybody maybe minus 2 people from NWO in that van. You know.
Reffing to get our paint.
Reffing to get paint. And we're all chilling. No seatbelts except for me and Rick. You know, up front.
Gotta give Rick the seatbelt though. You don't want him back there with the other dudes.
We're 12 dudes deep in this van. And I'm cruising, whatever the fuck, speeding 40, 50 miles an hour, and there's this stupid roundabouts. I fucking hate roundabouts.
Shout out to New Jersey roundabouts.
Every fucking day out in the Hamptons, man. Oh, I fucking hate them. No one fucking uses them right. It's just so much room for fucking error. They're stupid. Anyway, so I had the right of way. I know this for a fact. I had the right of way. You know, roundabout. Here I go. Big ass fucking swooping roundabout to put you on the highway to get out of this fucking bumfuck area that we're in. And off to my right, I see a fucking tow truck. Not slowing down. Not slowing down. And so I entered the roundabout at 6 o'clock. I'm going counterclockwise. His now about to enter from like 1 o'clock. I need to go to about 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Right? Everybody got me so far?
Drawing the picture, man.
Drawing the picture. So here I come. I'm rounding, you know, the fuck did I just say? 6 o'clock, 5, 4, 3, right? And and I catch him at 3, and I'm like, this dude ain't slowing fucking down.
This motherfucker ain't doing nothing.
And I'm like, all right, he's going to slow down. I could see the stop sign. I could see the yield sign. All right, we're good.
Yeah,
right?
He's going to stop. He's going to stop.
He ain't stopping. Here we go. So, and now I'm fucking, here we come. Here comes the fucking truck. And all I say is, oh, shit. Brakes are locking up. The fucking dump truck, you know, how trucks do the shake. Rick is looking at me like, what are you saying no shit for? He turns around, and the fucking truck.
His headlights like right there.
Is right here in Rick's face. Right here in Rick's face. I shit you fucking not. And if that dude didn't stop and I didn't stop, Rick dead. Woodley dead. What keep on saying? Wood. Justin Wood. I'm fucking sorry, man.
Hashtag
Wood
young.
dead. I believe the next person dead would have been Dave sitting next to Wood. You know, Travis would have been destroyed.
Those are my 3 favorite NWO members.
You know, Rick's 300-pound massive rhino ass would have slammed into me. I probably would have been dead.
You would have been dead.
You'd have been crushed from Rick.
Rick would have crushed you.
You know, and it was a scary moment, man. And then, oh God, fucking Saint Nick, the bus driver, Nick Cristione, 110 miles an hour in this fucking bus with the ECE guys in the truck, you know, and just looking up like you wanted to sleep so you wouldn't see it coming.
Right.
Bobbing and weaving through traffic, taking off ramps at god awful speeds. You wanted to fall asleep so you didn't see it coming. I can remember waking up and just seeing, you know, the white lines on the exit ramps where like the V would be. I just seeing that like a landing pad and just grass. And next thing you know, we're good, boys. Fucking house and techno music. Oh God. Nick, man, those were some scary times. I'm so happy I don't got to do that anymore. Wow. Every weekend you prepared yourself to die. At least I did.
I feel like long trips, man.
Those, bro. 2 hours, 3 hours back, you know, roughly.
Sometimes 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then also being trapped in the car with Jared. Ugh, it fucking sucks. So anyway, so now I'm coaching. I just started coaching Avalanche.
And who brought that up? Was that something that you did, or was that something?
So I've been with Leverage, NWO, the boys. You know, I keep on changing names, but it's the boys.
Same
crew. The Altamores, Jared, NWO guys. And I'm just like, now I can't really play as much. I'd play a game, watch, play a game, watch, play a game, watch. And I'd just be like, yo, you know, you did this wrong, or you should have went here, did that. And eventually, you'd be like, hey Pat, you know, call a play. And bang, 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 bang. And then the layouts would come out, be like, you know, guys, I think you should be doing this, this, and that. And they'd play again, and they'd go,
that worked.
Pat's right. I should be this way, this guy should be that guy, you know, blah, 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 blah. And on the way, so I used to do this thing called a brutally honest review, where I just
let people have it.
Gather everybody up, and I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna air you out right now.
Yeah.
And I just went bang, 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 bang for 10 minutes, and you took it. You know, the guys, I gotta say, the boys, the Bears, you know, and NWO, you know, I said some harsh shit in front of people, in front of the crew, and everyone ate it and respected what I had to say. And if anybody had a problem, with what I said, they would 90% of the time would pull me to the side and be, hey man, you know, ease up or blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And those are people that a coach wants.
Yeah.
They don't want the guy who his ego I just fucking insulted in front of 12 dudes, the owner and whatnot, and start chirping off. You eat that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get better.
Prove me wrong the next time you go out.
Right.
Prove to the team that what the coach just said doesn't matter anymore, because this is a new me. The guys who, man, you know, just start spitting bullshit. I'm your coach.
Mm-hmm.
You're wearing these colors. I'm your coach. Shut your mouth. Pop off. The only guy who could tell me that I'm in the wrong right now is the owner, or your actions when you go back on the field and prove that what I said is
now. Why can the owner can tell you wrong because he foots the bill, or
yeah, he's paying my fucking paycheck.
Well,
yeah.
that's I mean, you know,
if that guy wants me gone, he says pack it the fuck out.
Right.
You know,
but
if
yeah.
a player wants me gone.
I mean, but you're not wrong. He just doesn't agree with your view.
Yeah. Well, all right. So I don't air anybody out, and I in a point where I'm degrading you.
Right.
I'm telling you strictly, you screwed up. You cost us that game because you looked left instead of right. I'm not calling you I'm not pulling the Hinman on you, and all respects to Hinman. I seen that dude crush grown men into the ground to where I was like, oh, I should be recording this, sending in for abuse.
Right.
Yeah.
He told some fucking kid, I'll never forget this. Shout out to Hinman. I don't know where the fuck we were. I want to say Cup. I want to say I'm on Avalanche. I know Jared's right next to me.
Jared's been next to you for your whole life.
Jared's been next to me my whole life. There's a fucking cancer in my ass. You know, sometimes I look at groups of people or enter groups of people as South Park characters. right? Follow me on this.
Right,
This is
yeah.
going to get a little out there, right? So, every group of people has that inner circle of people, inner circle of friends who you can relate to a South Park character.
Oh, for sure.
Jared is my Cartman in my fucking South Park. And I'm a mix between Kyle and Kenny. Alright? That dude he lives to destroy my happiness. And for years, that was the case every day, you fuck. But he is one of the best friends I have. You're choked up. Fuck you, Jared. Fuck you again.
Don't cry.
It's like a yin and yang type of thing
Yeah.
going on there.
So, you watch South Park, Cartman lives to fuck over Kyle. But if anybody fucks with Kyle, you're dead, your family's dead, and we're destroying the family name into dust.
We're putting you in a body bag.
No one's fucking with Kyle. And there were many times where, drop of a hat, that dude there for me, and vice versa. But when it's not like that, I want to fucking kill him.
Right.
You know, but no, Jared's a real good dude, real good friend, and that's why he's my godfather to my baby. You know, I've known that dude for 18 years.
Wow.
You know, going on maybe a little bit more, you know, less, but definitely one of the guys. So now I'm starting to coach these guys, Avalanche, and we get third. We wind up losing to the Stratton Oakmont Bears.
Which
at MAO, and this had Kevin Conklin, Baracco, Labella, Kyle O'Gara. Shout out to the big OG.
rep.
You know, he
Rest in
passed
peace,
away a few weeks ago, but you know, didn't really know him a lot, but I definitely was on AKA. You know, he's been around on No Limit.
I was
Definitely,
gonna say he's been around the
he's
block.
been around the block, and you know, he was more of Baracco and Kevin's like good friend. You know, Scott Schechner, Simhak. You know, another great dude. You know, shout out to Kyle, man. So they beat us in overtime in shootouts.
Wow.
In MAO, and they wind up going against Rack City Clutch, which I do believe were the old school Vipers, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's a mix. It's definitely like Vipers.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say Reach, but I think
But
it's
they're Florida dudes.
Florida dudes,
yeah.
and you know they're all. Some of them I think eventually like Damage, Semi-Pro. They've always been on that cusp.
Yeah, they were.
And that was the MIO where it was
Why are you
like.
yelling, man? You know what you sound like in the mic? You sound like you come down right now, yelling in the mic. Slow it down a little
I'm
bit.
excited. I'm excited.
Honestly, I'm
Because
sweating over here.
I remember that MAO, and I remember it was like the mud.
Oh,
You
but
know,
yeah, it was muddy.
Because
yeah.
I was there. I remember I was helping out. We won his Master Blasters Resurrection or whatever we wanted. But I remember Stratton Oakmont Bears,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Frankie
Frankie
Tommaso
was on the team. Jim, Redhead Jim from High Velocity, Corn.
Yeah, who you know, those dudes know who they were.
But like you said, dude, the core of the team was like you said, the No Limit, the Baraccos,
Right,
the Labella.
So
Because I worked at Virtue with Labella. I always liked Labella. Labella was always.
LaBelle was a great dude. He was on when we transferred over to the Bears. These Bears, he was on the team for a few events, and then he started working for Virtue. And another thing that me and Robbie didn't mention that Newman, the owner of Virtue, was on our team. Like my alias, my first ever alias, who I bought from East Coast Empire when they won it at Captain Carl's, the event before they couldn't go no more.
Right.
My alias was the first gun to have the prototype Virtue board in it. And Quiet Storm and East Coast Empire
The cheater boards, bro?
had the first transition over to the Virtue boards from the cheater boards. So Newman bought the cheetah board from this guy named
Eggy.
they called him Cheetah, whatever his nickname was, whatever the case may be, from Arena. He was an Arena dude.
Oh.
They bought it from him, played on East Coast Empire. We got the boards for him, and I rocked the 001 prototype virtue board in my gun for a long time, and eventually just crapped out, and I gave it back to Newman. I should have kept it, put it up on the mantle, but
Yeah, that would have been a cool thing to
but
keep.
Newman played with us for a while, and I remember that MAO when we took third with Avalanche. I was sick as shit. I caught some fucking bug, man, from I don't know where. I was throwing up. I for fever. Like everybody's out there sweating and dying. I'm wearing a wool fucking sweater. I'm sleeping between matches instead of scouting. Like I was fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And we went into overtime or shootouts rather with the Stratton Oakmont Bears. And I'm trying to talk to the guys going after the one-on-one, and I can't talk. No voice.
Right.
And I don't know what these guys, thinking. We sent out Robbie. Robbie dominated this dude, Dylan Bounds.
Oh, because they had Dylan Bound.
Yeah.
Because they had a couple Southerners.
So I believe they were Bloodhound dudes.
They eventually
came
became
over.
Bloodhounds.
Yeah, or I know Bloodhounds were like in the mix with that. He bodies the first guy, and then we send out. It was either Jared or Joey.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle O'Gara shoots Joey. Yeah, right? Right?
Whoa!
And then
Rip
Jared goes
Rip to
out.
the OG.
Yeah, Jared goes out and he shoots. Jared gets shot by whoever he gets shot by. This ain't mine, right?
No.
No, I don't. Gil, I'm saying Gil's name. Gil's texting me. So we wound up losing. We beat, I believe it was Prime or Katana at this time. Not the Pro Katana. I believe this is before the merge happened.
Right.
And we took third. They took second. And then the following off season, we're playing at High Vi. We're kind of fizzling out of Jim Kim. Jim Kim's a good guy, but he kept on trying to inject like players and things into the team.
Right. You wanted your boys. We didn't need nobody else type of thing.
Not so much. Troy.
I love Jim. Listen, man,
Yeah,
I do a lot of
Jim's
business with Jim, but I could, and correct me if I'm wrong, I could tell because, Jim wanted, because the same kind of thing was going to happen with us with Master Blasters.
Right.
Jim wanted Master Blasters, and, he was trying to interject certain players, and those players, nothing against those players, just I feel like with paintball, those players, there needs to be a vibe. And if those players don't fit that clique, it's not going to work out.
Yeah, listen, he brought Troy onto the team, and Troy wound up becoming a beast. Shout out to Troy, but that dude, I'll never forget, and I said this to him the other day. We're at World Cup, and we're fighting for our lives. It's a brutal game back and forth. And he comes storming down the field, so tired, his gun, looks like a gorilla. Soaking wet coming through. Bodies this dude. We win the point.
Oh, Jim was playing.
No. This is Troy.
Oh,
this
Troy.
This is Troy. One of the guys that Jim brought onto the team.
Right, Troy.
Suggested and wound up being a good fit. And he bodies this dude. Gives us the point. I pull Troy off to the side. Now we're in the pits. And I look him in the eye and I'm like, yo, Troy, I'm going to sit you. I'm going to put Yannick in. Shout out to Yannick. And he looks me dead in my eye, and I just see nothing but fire, just straight rage in his face. He is like that beating sweat, to where it looks like you just jumped out of a pool, and the pool is still dumping on your head.
Yeah.
Jersey's soaked, it's turning colors, it's glued to your body, and he fucking looks at me like a fucking serial killer, and he goes, Pat, I'm in. I'm gonna kill everybody. Or whatever he said to me, and I'm just like, yo, Troy's in. Here's the fucking play. And he goes,
you feel that energy.
That energy was just like, bang, like a sledgehammer to my face. And I'm like, yo, Troy's in. This is the play. This is what we're doing. Bang, here we go.
Get on the box.
Get on the box. Actually, fuck that. You guys sit. Troy's gonna kill everybody. Put Troy on the box, And I believe we won that game put us deeper into the playoffs, and then we wound up losing the next playoff game, which fucking sucked because we were playing great, and Troy was playing amazing. The boys were clicking, and but then there's other players that he tried to interject, like this dude named Seth. Like, didn't really show a lot during practice, didn't show a lot during the event, fizzled out. This dude, Rob Norelli, nice guy, nice kid, okay at practice, okay at the event, didn't really fit in.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
It was just, the boys. The 6, 7 primary dudes.
It was ECE plus Troy.
It was
basically.
ECE plus Troy.
Mm-hmm.
Not that Yannick didn't fit in, but there was aspects that Yannick did great in, aspects that Yannick didn't do great in, and Norelli and all these other dudes that weren't consistent enough to make me sit Joey, to make me sit Jared, to make me sit Nick. So we finish out as Avalanche, and the off season's coming through. The Stratton Oakmont Bears kind of like broke up, and I meet this dude named Magic Mike. And for all you know who Magic Mike is, you will never find a nicer dude.
Yeah. He just loves the game, man.
He just loves life. No matter what I'm talking about, that dude, positive attitude. I've only seen him twice in 6 years I've known him, where he just wasn't positive. And that's after a big loss that the Bears had or something like that, where he had to lay down the law.
Yeah,
but just overwhelmingly nice guy, man.
Great dude.
There's videos, still fucking Robbie, man. Spoiled little ass clown you are. So we're at an event. We're into the Bears season. We're rocking Luxes, great guns.
Some Lux.
I'd have to tell you to bring
get some Lux.
Which one? I'm telling the story, right? There's 2 parts of the story. Relax a minute.
There's a Spider-Man one, and I love Spider-Man.
Oh, fuck Spider-Man.
He's telling the story,
That's
bro.
number 1. So me and Joey are scouting, and the rest of the boys are chilling in the shade or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I look over, and I just see Robbie with some thing in his hand, and him just fucking starts screaming. And all of you know who Robbie, the scream.
Yeah.
And he just bear hugs Magic. And me and Joey go over there, what the fuck's going on, yada yada. And Magic got him the black with red splash, the paint splatter gun, which looks like Carnage. And all of you know Robbie is a serious, and I don't know why, because his character sucks, Spider-Man fan. I don't get it.
You wore a Spider-Man shirt in our interview.
Yeah, I got a Deadpool shirt, the real superhero. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to shoot webs out of my hand. No. Suck. I'm so happy about this, because I know Robbie's furious right now.
I said Robbie can't defend it either.
Nope, can't defend it. Fuck Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's the best superhero out.
No.
All right, so who do you think? Deadpool?
Deadpool is killing Spider-Man.
Deadpool
killed Carnage. Spider-Man couldn't do that. All right? I don't want to hear it. It's over. Case closed.
Ooh, that's pretty much facts of life.
Done.
Wait, all right.
He needed 5 of the symbiotes to do it, but he did it. All right? It's over.
All right, so
you don't got the knowledge to like this.
Anyway,
but what do you? No. But what do you think?
Why are you yelling again?
Because this is how I am, bro. I'm loud. I'm in charge. This is my podcast. You better deal with it. And this is where I'll describe. Is Batman a superhero?
Absolutely.
In a sense, he got no superpowers.
So then he's not a superhero.
All right. I'm not going to fight it. Fuck Batman.
Batman sucks. Batman's a rich guy. If you think Batman's a superhero, you should think Bill Gates is a superhero, because they're both just rich fucking people.
Yeah, but Bill Gates ain't beating your ass.
He ain't swinging around rooftops and shit, calling bat signals.
We don't know that.
I mean,
that's a bold claim, my friend, that Bill Gates is swinging from rooftops.
This fucking 6-year-old dude is swinging around, throwing fucking chakras and shit everywhere.
Beating people's ass. Yeah, it's a bold claim, my friend.
So what about Iron Man? So Iron Man's not a superhero.
Cool.
Iron Man's a superhero too.
I mean,
what's his superpower?
Beating your ass.
Beating your ass.
That's not a superpower.
At least he got a fucking Iron Man suit.
He's just a rich guy.
Yeah, but it's better. He ain't hiding no case.
He's better than Batman.
Better than Batman.
But he's still not a superhero.
Alright,
so go on with the story.
Alright. So Magic buys in the first one. And there's another video of where the fuck are they? They're whatever event we're in. once again, Robbie's fucking walking around brainless. Magic Mike has a scheme plotted. There's a sick Spider-Man Lux, red and blue. I want to say Monville made it, or Boucher, or one of those dudes made it. One of one. Sick Spider-Man web on it. Of course, Robbie was fucking drooling over it. They didn't have the money for it.
Yeah.
So, Magic asks for his gun or barrel back that Robbie was borrowing at the time. So Robbie on videos handing everything back. And Robbie's like, here. And Magic Mike's all right, man, you have a problem. What gun are you going to use? And Robbie's like, I don't know. And then Magic Mike just fucking reaches behind him and says, like, yo, you're going to use this. And that face that Robbie made was just priceless.
Yeah.
That straight, all my dreams come true. I got the thing I wanted, and the universe just went toot toot to me, and he got this serious gun. Of course, Robbie's wearing his Under Armour Spider-Man suit.
Right.
That he wears all the time, and it's just, but that's the kind of, I'm dragging this out, that's the kind of dude Magic is, just to give you the example. Just loves the game, loves his crew, and to this day, he's still kicking out money for the Bears, even though they're not even playing. Just to get the dudes together, just to get the boys together. So anyway, so he takes over the team. This is when PSP dies, because once again they went to Texas. Like, I don't just understand. See, tornadoes, hail, mud every year
never
for
works
the past
out.
4 years.
So
Can
Magic
we get the fuck away from Texas, please? No, keep on. The definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again. How many fucking years are you gonna go to
All right,
Texas?
so let me ask you this: if there was one recommendation that you could make to any league, PSP, NXL, Tri-State Expo League, gotta plug my own shit. What would that recommendation be?
Don't go to Texas.
Don't go to Texas during the wet season. I'd rather play in balls ass hot fucking weather than take my $1,500 setup and dive into the fucking mud to where I can't see anything. I'm shooting like this. This ain't fun to me. Watching my boys do this, like, oh, where is he? Is that a guy or a ref? Dude, I guess I'm the guy. It's not fun to me.
Yeah.
I just don't
So speaking of Magic, how did Magic take over? So there's Stratton Oakmont Bears.
So
Moving on to Brooklyn Bears. How did?
I feel like you're rushing me. Am I getting off topic?
No.
You're rushing me?
No.
You want to go to bed soon? What's the deal?
No, dude. I'm just curious, bro.
So Magic.
I'm a fan of the game.
I know. I'm just messing with you. So Magic. So Stratton Oakmont Bears were whatever happened with them. They basically broke up. It was only a handful of dudes. Labella, Frankie, Kevin, Baracco, Scott.
Richie? No,
Richie was part of
Leverage.
Avalanche. We picked, they picked him up at High Vi, and
They groomed him, man.
yeah,
Because I remember him.
he got put under their wing, and me and Richie were actually trying out for that team. Unfortunately, I had the car accident, and Richie just got better and better and better.
Yeah.
And they picked him up, and he was really the 6th, 7th guy. We still had Jimmy, but Jimmy quit. I love Jimmy. I actually worked for Jimmy Garrett, who was on East Coast Empire.
He phased out at that time.
He quit during a match. I think we were still Avalanche. We were at Cali, and we're playing a game. I put him in. He wins the game. He wins the point. Right? I think we lost the match, but he wins the point. Comes in, puts the stuff on the table. Is like, yeah, I'm done, and walks away. I'm like, my dude, we still got 5 minutes left. Where are you going? Did you just buzzer the fucking, didn't you just hit the buzzer? Where are you going? And that was, he just dipped. He just, mid-game, mid-point, I don't want to play paintball no more. Scatter. And he was a serious player. Awesome dude. He used to put that black, like, football paint on.
On his face, yeah.
He used to do Tiger Strike, and we all used to have the red bandanas tied the wrong way and shit, spiky hair. It was a weird time. We were like Jersey Shore meets the white Tupac era. It was crazy. So he fizzled out. So the Bears get kicked up. PSP goes under. NXL takes over, And the first event the Bears play is the Great Lakes,
Really, so yeah.
which we drove to, which is a fucking mistake. And just the Bears once again 9 hours in the fucking
In a car.
in the bang bus
With the boys.
with the boys. Jared in a small spot once again, along with Robbie and Nick. And if anybody knows, those three together is not a good idea. Just a tornado of chaos will ensue if they get bored
Yeah.
and if they drink, or if Robbie's or Jared starts fucking with the other, and it's just
Which is gonna happen.
which is gonna happen. So
9 hours is
yeah,
a long drive.
and, oh my god, it was bad. It was so bad. So we played Great Lakes. We skimping. We skate into the finals, and we get beat by Katana, I believe. In D2. Yes, D2. And then there was 3 more events. And this is when my coaching really excelled. Like I used to keep stats on all my players at the best to my ability with just one
Right.
guy.
Right.
Just notebooks of my
Not
fucking-
Go Sports helping you out. It was
Not
you
Go
were-
Sports. One dude.
Yeah.
And this is when I started really, I already separated myself from Cousins, but this is when I really started to hate Cousins. And now I love individuals at Cousins, but the overall
Vibe.
vibe, I'm okay. So I'm getting to the field early. I'm blowing up the field. I'm now reffing the field, right? Because there was one Goomba ref who was 14 years old, mixed in with 20 late 20s, early 30s, OGs, newcomers, trying to ref these dudes and get in there and check the guy as they're flying on the field. It's not going to happen.
No.
I'm maintaining the field, burping, filling, restaking, regridding the field as we go. And I'm also coaching the
A
team.
highly competitive team. Yeah.
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 Right? So I was doing a lot. I was working.
Pretty much. Yeah.
At this point, I was not getting paid. I was just getting free rides. Don't you don't gotta worry about this. You don't worry about that. But no extra
Incentives, perks.
incentives. It was just my boy's gonna pay for me to go to help them out. That's what it was. And we took second. We finally beat our nemesis, which was Prime at this point in Virginia Beach. We finally broke the curse that we've been rocking for since EC won in 06 to get the first and second. At least with me in the mix. They made it to podium a few times without me, but this is when me being with them through the leverage Avalanche era. Anyway, so we're playing Miami Rage, and they destroy us. It was 0-6. It was a beating. The worst beating in my experience with those dudes.
Yeah, beat down.
Worse than any Aftermath game or any Voltage or any old school Rage game that we played back in the day. This was the first time that we got waxed. I remember the first point we got a minor. All right, no big deal. Second point, we basically did the same play, and I believe Richie looked the wrong way, took a ball. One guy tried to fill out, shot. Just game plan fell apart. All right, no problem. 0-2. It is what it is. The third point we go out, we get a major. Then the pits erupt. I ain't gonna say names, but you know who you are, you motherfucker. Was just going bananas in the pit, and then once he starts kicking off, he kicks that person off, and then it's a tornado of bullshit.
Right.
And we didn't have Nick on the team at this point because Nick was playing with NWO. And it was just all downhill from there. So we took second. It is what it is. And then we go into Cup. And we powerhouse through Cup. We get to first and second. And I can remember now, some people are going to call bullshit. Some people are going to say, oh. And we're playing fucking Image. And we're up by 1 point. It's grinding down. It's a 2-on-3. I got the 3. It's Robbie and the Snake. Alfred in the back center, and Richie and a Dorito 4, which was a tower at this point.
Okay.
And it's Scott Graham and whatever fucking Image players on his team. And Scott Graham's on video, this dirty motherfucker. I'll end up coaching him in NXL a little bit later on. I mean, coaching him in the pros on NYX. Does a serious move from corner to corner, shoots Robbie, shoots Alfred, shoots Richie, tie fucking game, overtime.
Did he shoot all those people, or
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna give it to.
Asterisk.
I'm gonna give it to him anyway. I know he caught Robbie flat-footed, and I think he made it to Our Snake a shot. He had a clear shot on Richie in the D4, and Alfred was fucking. I don't know why Alfred was pinched in the back center. Not taking anything away from Alfred. Alfred's a serious fucking player, known him for years. You know, one of my dudes. Go to bat for him anytime. I don't know why he was getting pinched by two dudes on the Dorito side, but he was. He was playing it like he was still getting pinched, like there was another dude on the Snake side, not knowing that.
Yeah.
This phantom,
Coast
this
to
Canadian fucking guy came from Vancouver all the way around and destroyed everybody. So we go into overtime, we tie overtime. Now what happens when time runs out in overtime?
It was the one-on-ones, right?
Thank you. Right? So did everybody else in the entire paintball world. Even the announcers. Say, okay, one-on-ones, yeah, we haven't had one-on-ones in a while, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's on video.
One-on-ones.
You know where you'll find that video? You'll find that video on YouTube. You know where you won't find that video?
Ghost Horse.
I didn't say that, you did. Right? So we go out and play, and Jared gets a fucking penalty. I'm not blaming Jared for getting a penalty, I don't know. But it's just amazing.
How that works, right?
It's amazing how that works, right? Jared's penalty, we lose. I try to plead my case, but at this point, I should have pleaded my case before this happened.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I had that time. You have 2 minutes to scramble, and not only did you just play a serious match, dumping all your paint, you ran and got paint for an overtime match, just enough to play another game. And now, you got to run all the way back in 2 minutes to get more paint, because you didn't get enough because you only thought you were going to go to
Regular
the overtime and then one-on-ones to get more paint. Yeah. Guess where their paint truck was?
Yeah, right there.
Guess who? Scott Graham did tell me he did run around. But I'm going to tell you, what my eyes saw was people throwing paint over the fence for the Image side, where my dudes had to run around the entire pro field to get paint. Not bitching, not taking it away from Image, just saying more shady shit happened. So basically, so now I'm arguing.
Hold on, that's doesn't Richmond Italia's son play on that team?
You know what? That might be a correction on someone's name, but I'm not going to get into it.
Gotcha.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. And then there was another certain coach / player at this time who now kind of owns a little bit of some paintball hierarchy, who shouldn't have been in their pit, but it's in their pit, coaching them. Whatever. Still not complaining. Anyway, so what I'm trying to get at, and not say, once again, nothing away from Image, Scott Graham, hell of a move to win the fucking game. It is what it is, you know. I'm talking to the dude. I'm trying to figure out why I just played 2 overtimes instead of the 1 in shootouts. Pleading my case, and the guy basically says, kid, shut the fuck up and get out of my pit. So I fucking lost it.
Typical paintball answer.
Right? Now this is a blue shirt. If anybody's been around the NXL, this is a blue shirt telling me. You know, one of the top blue shirts. Not going to say any names, not going to tell you what he looks like. Blue shirt. So I turn around and I rip the fucking buzzer off the telephone pole, which is a couple zip ties, no big feet, whatever.
Yeah.
Slam that bitch in the ground. Now I turn to the fucking TV monitor with the fucking, you know, with the scores on it.
Yeah.
And I go to fucking drop this thing, and then Alfred wraps me up. And he basically says, you know, Pat, you know, calm me down.
Yeah.
Is what it is. But I was about to fucking tear that place down.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I got screwed, because this dude basically told me to go fuck myself and get out of the pit.
You're about to burn the fucking.
So I wanted to fuck. I wanted blood, but Alfred calmed me down, and we wound up winning the season anyway. So we took 2nd in Virginia, 2nd in Cup, and we win the season.
D2 series.
D2 series
Nice.
as the Bears. Now we go to D1 Pro. D1 Pro.
Semi-pro.
D1 semi-pro in Vegas, and
That was a good event.
it was a great event. And I coached, I'm going to say, 100% of the first day, and then Scott really took the reins. I had a little bit of an incident, which I'm not going to go into. It was a medical incident that basically put me out for the remainder of the event. And even though I was still there, I needed to like fall back for a second.
Mentally, you weren't there.
So Scott basically took the reins, and me and him were working it out from the finals forward. And and he did great. It's a little chaotic, especially being handing the clipboard and saying, "Hey, go with it."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Scott has a great IQ for the game, player for a while, and he did a good job. There were a few moments where he was like deer in headlights, but for the most part, he was spot on with what he was doing. And we played. We tied DMG. We were beating them, and then they came back and were just putting it on us. If they had another 30 seconds, they were going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a humble guy. They were going to win.
Yeah.
But we tied them. We moved on, and now we're playing Distortion, which has Will Hennessy on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And we wind up winning that. And like I said, man, there's nothing better than that win with your boys.
With the boys, man. Winning with your friends, winning with your family, man.
It's serious, Someone asked me, like, after all this shit was done, like, Pat, why do you keep doing it? Your coach, you had a lot of issues fighting your way through all this shit, and, your injuries, your health, and I'm like, because there's nothing better looking in your boys' eyes and feeling that energy, like I said, with Troy, with Joey, with Robbie, with Jared, with Wood, and just it doesn't matter what the enemy's gonna do, what I say to him, what happens. That look in your boys' eyes, that no matter what happens, we're winning.
Yeah.
That in that moment we are winning. That moment where that cold ass rain just falls away. Where the noise from the crowd, the buzzes, whatever, just the loudest noise ever, but that communication you have with your boy is spot on. And to look in those 5 dudes, eyes and send them out there, and basically just feeling that energy and just turning my back, knowing in 30 seconds my boys are gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
There's, that's why I do it. That euphoria I feel when everything just clicks, like that 19-second point against AC Dallas, where it's like, yo, what do we want to do? We want overtime, or we want to win.
Let's go for that fucking win.
Everybody was just like, yo, fuck that, we're going for the win. And I looked into PK, Lackey, Graham, Will, and Robbie's eyes, and you can just feel that energy.
Yeah.
I drew up a play, and they executed it.
You know it's gonna work, man.
Perfectly.
You
Perfectly.
feel it.
I took a picture, and I did like a frame by frame of what they were supposed to do and what I had on paper, and to the T, within like a 4-foot radius of where the route they were supposed to take, they did it, and we wound up winning that point. That moment, that's what I live for.
That's
why I
paintball.
keep going.
Yeah.
I fucking during that Texas event in NYX. I'm gonna skip a little ahead just so I can throw the story out there. We had 3 weeks. For 3 weeks, I beat this one code, this one play into Robbie's head, to the point where I'm standing on top of Robbie mid-game against the ML Kings at fucking Outback against
No, didn't you guys play Russian Legion?
That was for a different event.
Oh, sorry.
That was a different event. Watch your mouth. And I'm screaming the top of my lungs in Robbie's ear, get the fuck down the field. So to play it was a ladder snake, and on that Texas layout, if a guy wasn't standing tall,
This was 2019 Texas.
this was 2019 Texas. 29. That's just when Robbie got the 5-pack, and this set it up.
I'm gonna tell you right now, this was I like that layout a lot.
That layout was sick. So this is what it was.
I had people ask me to do that layout again for this event.
That was a sick layout. So this is what it was. That ladder snake, if someone wasn't standing tall in that tower on the snake side, shooting down on you, and you weren't giving them something with the crawl, no one could shoot you. If the wire was clean and the insert wasn't hot, no one could fucking shoot you. So we had a play. It was called Halo. There's only a dude in the tower and he's on his knees. Go all the way to their tail of the snake, snap out. 5 kills. and I beat this into that dude's head. Now, mind you, I'm driving no matter where we go with Robbie. Robbie lives 5 minutes away from me on the next block over. You know what I'm trying to say. He lives in the next block, next neighborhood over. Same, we're at each other's house. We're calling each other every day. Like, this is my boy.
Yeah.
And we both know what's on the field, off the field. I had to drive home with him. It is what it is. But I was brutally fucking screaming at him to execute this play in practice. Either watching that damage game, deep into the game, Robbie gets the call, and he says, Pat, he tells me later, he's like, yo, I got the Halo call, and I'm like, all right, Pat, here we go. Goes all the way down, 5-pack. Wins us the point, eventually turns the momentum in our favor, win the game. That is another reason why I do it, to put that trust in my boy, and that boy putting the same trust in me, and then executing what we just talked about. There's nothing better than that. There's nothing better that a coach can do besides winning than doing that. It's just drawing up and your boys having 100% faith that what you put on paper is going to work. And I'm not, not to toot my own horn, but I think, and hopefully all my boys that I've coached throughout the years can say consistently what I put on paper was working. I'm sure you're going to have the one or two guys saying, nah, Pat fucking sucks, it is what it is. But I have stats, man. I go back and I fucking put stats. I have stats on people from 2013 in books on how well you were doing this day.
Yeah.
So we win that in Vegas. We get.
And did you coach? You coached NWO as well, right?
So I'm like pseudo coaching them at this point. They really want me to come over. I've known these dudes for like 2 years now, going on 3 years. Some of them, some a little bit more. Gil and Chris and everybody. So whenever I could, I'd be with them.
So Bears was the main.
Bears was the main.
And then NWO, if you could help them, you would help.
Yeah, more of a friendly help. I mean, boy, I'm gonna come help you when I can. But if I got to scout some team, or if I got to do something over here, I got to do something over here.
Right.
So we took third in Texas, and then the Bears just started to wobble again. Sunday team, first round, second round knockout, just not getting there. And then that year, that cup is when we brought LJ back and Zach Patient. Now, nothing against those guys. I was against it from the start. It just didn't feel right.
They're not in that. They're not in that clique.
The clique is over, but I gave it a chance. But then when they came down to their first practice, and they're reshaping the bunker names that, I ain't gonna lie, the dudes on ECE, especially Robbie, unless there was like a highlighted fucking name above the bunker, it took at least 2 days for them to remember
the bunker
names.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but a few of the guys. And now they're switching up the bunker names to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which in my opinion I don't like. You can do whatever you want. You can say it's better. My opinion, I don't like it.
I agree with you.
There's, I got a D1, I got an S1, now
right,
I got a
kill
1, now it's kill 1, now strike 1. Boy, it's too many, and then the numbers don't really travel.
Yeah.
When you're trying to project them across the field, your voice kind of doesn't project it. So I just don't like it. Anyway, they put out a couple of drills that they thought that they were going to work out and do, and literally the boys in the back are just like, they're never going to get past us. We are way better than this. So it just didn't feel right. And we wound up doing the worst that the Bears ever done at that event. And at this time, like, me and a few of the guys were not beefing, but not really getting along,
Mm-hmm.
And me and Jared were being harsh with each other. And, you got to know that Jared would be at my house with the other crew dudes every day. Yeah. I would wake up to Jared watching a movie in my living room at 9 a.m.
Yeah, waiting for you.
Just kicking my door. Hey, we're hanging out. Here I am. Yeah. It's like, dude. What
the fuck? Let me put on pants.
Like, let me wake up. Did you bring me an egg sandwich? Like, what the fuck's going on here? Like every day. Just every day, no matter what time, just dudes at my house. All the boys were at my house. And we had to move out of my old house on Lincoln and move into a new house. So I didn't have that connection with the guys anymore.
Mm-hmm.
For years, my house, I had like my own like little apartment or always like a section of my house where the boys would always come over, and we didn't have it anymore, so we couldn't like hash out what we wanted to anymore.
Right.
You know, boy to boy. So, and I didn't want to lose Jared as a friend over paintball.
Right.
So I decided to bow out of the Bears. And this was their 2019 season. Now, at this point, because of NWO, Bo Milo was helping out NWO. This is when NYX was still the Outlaws.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I met Bo and Pat Kraft and Arslan Hussein. And starting to vibe with them a little bit. I was helping them out in 2018, I want to say, when I was no longer coaching the Bears, and they were in D1.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the pit with them during a few of their podiums, not all of them, but a few of them. You know, when they were killing it
Right.
in D1 and divisionals, I was starting to mingle with them. And but now I'm full with NWO.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest regrets in my paintball career is I can never get them past the second round, the third round of playoffs.
Yeah, you couldn't get them all
You
the
know,
way.
it was just that wall that I kept on hitting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they were a good team. They were 4-0 in the prelims in every event, 3-1, 4-0. You know, but it was just that Sunday morning that they just couldn't
Put it together.
get over that hump, whether it be penalties, stupid moves, you know, just whatever the case may be.
I want to interject something, and maybe this is me being a little bit biased, but as far as NWO is concerned, as far as them making it over that hump, was it people playing that that shouldn't have been playing? Was it people not adhering to the pressure of the situation? Because, you know, and the same way that, you know, your boys are your boys and you'll like your boys, I felt, you know, certain people that were within the management of the team were playing in some crucial situations that they weren't allowed to be playing in.
I hear you, and that shit don't matter to me.
I know it doesn't matter to you, but were you ever overridden?
No,
Okay.
not
So then that-
not with NWO, not with NWO. When I was on NWO coaching, even though I don't want to say cliques, but little like segments of people were kind of grouping together a little bit more. Not to say that happened to the spec that I'm putting out there,
Right.
but a little bit. I wouldn't care what they said. Like, yo, okay, speak your mind. Now go to what? You know what matters? This book right here. This is when I started doing the Warlord thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I had a column which I transferred over from the Bears into NWO into NYX. I had a column, multiple columns of your job, how well you did it, or if you did it at all, quarterbacking. I incorporated the ninja column because the snake guy is obviously not going to be talking as much as the bad guy. So,
Right.
so the stats would equal out, being clutch. And then I had a negative column of not doing your job, getting a penalty, or just being fucking dumb,
Yeah.
right? And I would tally all that up. And at the end of the practice, we had a warlord, so I would make you the warlord first practice of the season. Bang. Next practice, Waldo does better than you. I mean, does better than everybody else. Now he gets to challenge you in a one-on-one. If he wins, he's now the warlord. And we did this up until the last weekend of the event. And the prize was a big NWO belt. You know, the
Yeah, the
WC,
big-
the
the big
wrestling
belt.
belt. You know, I'm sure a bunch of people have seen it.
I've seen Rick with it a bunch of
You
times.
didn't have to carry paint from the trailer. You can pick where we went to eat, even though that never hashed out. And if there was any discrepancies on where we were going or what we were doing or any arguments, you can just be, yeah, you're warlord. What you got to say? You're right. You're wrong. Shut the fuck up. Moving on.
Right.
You know. So there's a little incentive for people to do better.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, that carried the consistency of everybody. That's who played. That's who fucking played. I don't care. Now, obviously, if you're not playing hot, you're sitting, and your sub is going in. But there's times where I can put, for instance, Travis. You know, Travis kind of fell through the cracks a little bit with the chaos with having a large crew like that.
Because that was you know, I'll be sure that's my.
I knew you were getting it. You mentioned it before. But no, the times that I started Travis, I believe for 2 events, he, you know, just to be straight out, he played good, had good moments, and then faltered for, let's say, a game or so, to where his sub had to be put in, and a sub would carry the ball, and that's, once the wheels are going, it happens.
You don't fuck.
But then there's other times where I'm putting Travis in, and he is stunting on people. I can remember one time, I believe it was AC. He went from back center to their snake insert, bodying people as he went, dives in, right? Chilling there for 30 seconds, fighting off the snake corner, the Dorito corner, I want to say maybe one more dude, but can't go nowhere because he's in a late, a mini W.
Mm-hmm.
And I look back, and I'm going to say it was Wood and 2 others are still in the back line. What in the fuck? I flipped. I threw my fucking clipboard against. We lost that point.
I'm biased. Man.
We lost that fucking point. I threw my fucking clipboard. I was fucking furious.
Yeah.
Like, when in the you see that I got 2 dudes looking at the Dorito side, which everybody knows is where the dead bodies are coming. You see 2 dudes coming this way, right?
Right.
From the snake side. You're fighting 2
Let people
dudes
know.
on the Dorito side, right? It's you have 4 dudes on your side that you know of.
Right.
What in the fuck are you doing in the Dorito 1, the Dorito insert, and a back line snake side or whatever it was? Flipped. Like I'm a composed dude with a lot of stuff, but when I see stupidity like that, raw, I want to rage.
Yeah.
And you know, so but no, there were definitely people came to me saying I believe this, I believe that, and I would just hold up my book and say go the fuck away.
Just stats don't lie, man.
Stats don't lie. This is what I'm going off of.
Yeah.
Period. You can't. This is. I know you're gonna ask me later, but when we get to the pro level, you know, we'll go deeper into that. But this is what matters. This is why I'm here. I am here looking at you and telling you who's doing their job, who's playing the field the right way.
You coached NWO.
I know, cut me off, right? Keep going. What do you want? What do you want?
I want to get to the juice.
I know you want juice, but we got time, man. We're not on you. We're not on the clock. We're gonna keep going.
We're not on your time.
I'm going
okay?
to tell you right now.
Are you drinking? Is that like beer in your thing?
Dude, don't worry about what
Oh, no wonder why you're all fucking interrupting me and shit.
I want to get to the fucking juice, man. So
The juice is coming. Don't you worry.
yeah, man. So I'll be straight up, man. I'm biased. I think fucking Travis was a lot better than a lot of players on the team, but like he said, he probably fell through the cracks, and
He definitely fell through the cracks, you know, and
it probably didn't help him that he was on and off on NWO. Like,
yeah, I mean that definitely played into people that were chirping at me's argument. But if you come back, and pop off, you're definitely in the candidacy for starting.
Mhm.
You know, of course, there's a few points deducted off of you because the tally sheets are continuous throughout the year. You know, I have stats from when a real, we're not playing street ball no more. This is real practice up until the season ends.
Mm-hmm.
And I have these stats. And they carry over and they keep on going And, you know, and whoever had an argument, I'm just like, yo, the reason why this dude, I believe it was Sully and, God, I can't remember, Gilmore had the belts the longest during that whole Warlord experience because they were playing better. And when it came down to the one-on-ones, they were winning. You know? And this is when I had Robbie and Scott on the team too. Now, I was very biased against Robbie because fuck you, Robbie.
no, I was gonna say you told me that you wouldn't let
yeah.
Robbie have the belt.
I wouldn't let that dude go for the belts. It's not happening. Sorry, Robbie. I know you're screaming at me right now through the monitor, but you ain't getting it. All right? And just because it's not like he didn't earn it every time he stepped on the field. It's because I knew that it'd be a 1 out of we'll say 15 challenges that he would lose the belt.
Mhm.
And I did, you know.
He would just hold it the whole
I,
time.
yeah, he would hold it all
But
the
you
time.
wanted to challenge him another way, I feel. You
I
weren't gonna
challenged
give him the-
Robbie. I was the hardest on Robbie because I know Robbie belonged here, and he was here. And all the years that we played together, and all the mud and sweat and blood that we went through, I wanted him, and that's why him and his brother would go at it all the time. That's why Jared and all the guys would go at it all the time, is because they know that they should be playing way up here, and they're still making baby mistakes. That's getting them, you know, shot or,
They
losing the
should be
game.
playing against Dynasty
Yeah,
and Impact and shit.
yeah.
You know what
I
I mean?
remember. Wow, man. I remember going banana pudding on Robbie early in the end up when they jumped on to NWO when the Bears were breaking up 2018.
Yeah.
2018 was when the 2017 was the Bears' last full like squad together, and
And they just missed the pro spot, man.
and Magic Mike pulled the plug on the
The funding.
Bears, and everybody kind of split, and it turned out the NXL was taking
More teams.
more teams up, and that's how, you know, Elevation and NYX and Katana all jumped up
Mhm.
to the pro, and now
ML Kings. I
ML,
think that-
whatever, whoever
whatever
the
it
hell
was.
was up there, you know. So now it's 2018. Did you say 18? Yeah, 18.
Mhm.
So 17, it was a pseudo back and forth. 18, now I'm fully with NWO. And now I'm pseudoing with NYX.
Nice.
And as their pro. Bo asked me to come over. And I gotta say, Beaver and Bo, the Beavers, I should say, really kept me in the game. I hit another roadblock in my life at that point. And the only way that I can continue going to the events and being part of this sport I love was through the efforts of Beaver and all the NWO cats, don't get me wrong, and Bo helped me out, and they know how they helped me out to get me to these events,
Right.
and really kept me in the game. And, you know, it sucked that I had to rely on people the way that I was at that time, because I don't like doing that. You know, no one likes doing that.
No,
Right.
you like to be self-sufficient.
Yeah, so, you know, much love to all the guys and Bo and the Beavers and all of NWO, Wood, Dave, Sully, who, you know, kept me in the game. You know, those are real dudes. You know, they could easily say, "Hey, Pat, you know, thanks."
Kick rocks.
You know, yeah, kick rocks. You know, we love you. You know, but we can't do it. You know, but you know they decided to keep me afloat. So now I'm with NWO, and we just can't get over that hump. You know, we're killing it. Robbie and Scott are killing it. Everybody's killing it. We can't manage to get a medal. And I'm bouncing back to NYX. And at this point, and the year prior, I'm just basically scouting and giving suggestions. So, hey, like, you know, I see this guy going over here. I think you should do this. Or I think instead of shooting for him because we're missing, you know, we're going to keep on slamming our heads against the wall trying to shoot that guy. Let him have it. Let's go shoot that guy over there. You know, just helping him out. Not really calling plays. That was all Bo, Arsenal, and the team. You know, just calling plays. But Bo, Arslan pitched me coaching them for 2019 to them, and everybody wanted me to come, and me and Bo worked out a thing, and you know, I was basically on got the spot on NYX.
Mhm.
You know, but getting back to NWO just real quick, you know, those are my boys, you know, and just as much as the East Coast Empire guys, you know, Robbie and everybody, you know, I really sucked not getting them where they should be, where they should have been, and that was they
Was a
deserved.
Bears pro.
Yeah, they, you know, they were playing the Bears all the time. They were putting in the work. They were out there. We were shoveling the field. You know, snow. just
Fucking
put it in
Northeast,
the-
man. Northeast fucking
Northeast
work
sucks.
ethic.
If I gotta say something to the NXL, I think the first event should be no layout,
blind.
no release.
Yeah,
To the
blind layout.
Blind layout. Everybody goes in, bang. That's it. Release it Thursday. You got the money to.
Those bounce shots suck, man.
I don't give a fuck about the back shots, but the Northeast were either in torrential downpour or under 5 feet of snow.
Yeah.
We spent the entire Vegas layout indoors, grinding in the hallway, not in the layout at all.
High velocity, man.
Yeah, at high velocity. Big
you-
shot to
where-
High Vi, man. Without High Vi, I don't know where the Bears would have been.
Dude, I mean, I worked there for 7 years, man. James is a good dude, man. James is a great dude.
And James is an awesome dude. He is the equivalent to Magic Mike level.
He's a
I didn't
people
listen.
patron.
I worked for Cousins for 10 years, 11 years.
Well, I worked for 7, but
Yeah, okay, we'll go for so. And of course, I would get the hookups here and there and the stuff, but then started to transition where, all right, you're not getting the you put blood, sweat, and tears for 10 years hookup anymore. You're gonna get the normal 10% off and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I helped you build Quorum. The fields and everything. I head refed for fucking 10 years. I head refed, big game. I'm doing all the shit for you. I worked during the week, slaving over those guns, fixing those guns. Getting fucking ticks left and right, dealing with your stupid groups that you want to book in the middle of a blizzard. 30 kids deep in the middle of a blizzard, knee-high snow. And I'm walking them out the fields and they're shooting CO2 guns. Oh my god, my gun! I can't shoot anything. Well, no fucking shit. It's fucking 30 below out here. I'm in Siberia trekking through snow on huskies.
No,
Yeah,
You're out here shooting CO2 guns. Like, it just didn't make sense. And that's when I was really like,
That's when I get fed
all
up.
right. And then I go to High Vi, right? I don't know James for a hole in the wall. Never been to High Vi. Robbie or whoever, one of those dudes, gives
Robbie
me,
worked there for a minute.
gives me the thumbs up. Me and James, tight as fucking
Boys for life.
boys. Shit, Andrew Smith, boys, and Andy Hahn. Anything I needed, bang, I got, without a question. And that's I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but serious deals where it's like, yo, I don't know you, and you're giving me.
I'm gonna say
You're undercutting Cousins by $10, and I worked for them for 12 years, 10 years, and I just met you. What?
Yeah, this might this might get me in trouble too, man. But it's like $40 for a JT lens when I could go to High Velocity and get it for 15. It's like, bro, I'm not even man. Like,
So once again, those dudes were awesome guys, immediate click, and I hit up James like, yo, what Netflix show you watching? Oh, we're watching The Last Kingdom, or we're watching Vikings. We're all, me and him are big into that Viking area, and every time I see him, we're bullshitting about that, So those dudes are awesome. I love High Vi, James, and everybody. If you want the ultimate Call of Duty experience, go to High Vi.
dude,
Their fields are sick.
I'm gonna tell you this, dude. High velocity outdoor, because I used to be big into the scenario, the big game scene. I've been all up and down the East Coast. To this day, high velocity outdoor is the best rec ball scenario game field that I've ever been at.
As soon as they opened up, man. As soon as they opened up, it was.
Because you're talking about, instead of going behind barrels and garbage cans and bullshit, because to me, there's paintball fields and then there's paintball parks. There's Six Flags and then there's Disney World.
Watch the mic.
Yeah, so there's Six Flags and then there's Disney World.
Yeah.
So Six Flags is an amusement park, and then there's a theme park. High Velocity is a theme park, and dude, like I said, I've been to Sherwood Forest in Indiana, where it's at a railroad ties. That shit's dope as hell. It looks like freaking Robin Hood, all that stuff. High Velocity's on par with that.
High Velocity. Now that they opened up their expo field, which is back on, it's just sand and rocks right now, but
I'm not complaining.
That's how I grew up.
Dude, once that's turf or
Oh my God,
grass,
forget it, man. That would be the place. That's gonna be the place.
unbeatable.
That's gonna be the place because the Bears are going down there. High Wrecking Crew, who dominated last year in the local ops tournaments and stuff, is there. You know, Frankie Bongiorno's on that team. Chris Shea. They're right over there. You can throw up. What's going on?
No, I mean, I think that
You getting stomach
Yeah,
pains over there?
Weird noises going on. Over there.
shout out to High Velocity Wrecking Crew. Should play TSXL, but whatever.
I told them they should be gobbling up every local event.
Especially with the.
All right. So listen.
Especially with the roster that they have, because
Oh
the
my
roster
God,
that they
they're
have
They're
is
sick.
not a, it's not the same team that's been racking up the D4 scene either.
No,
It's a very highly competitive team that's been a lot of players that have been doing very well in higher divisions. Chris Shea's been playing a lot. Buongiorno's been playing a lot. Buongiorno, and this is even something completely off. My cousin who got me into paintball he never played the local events. My cousin Chris was friends with Buongiorno, Greg Kometz, Bohemia Oakdale crew.
Yeah.
Like he was part of their clique.
We might have to open these windows in here because it is hot. It is hot. No, I'll turn the AC on. The mic's gonna pick it up. They'll open the window.
It is steamy in here.
Yeah, it's like I'm
All right,
sweating.
so-
My back is fucking.
All right.
Drenched.
So Pat is with NYX.
So where are we at? So
Pat's with NYX, man. We're almost at the 2020. Pat's with NYX 2019. They're pro in 2019.
They are pro in 2019.
Yeah.
So how did you get?
So 2018 they were pro also.
All right, so you linked up with them in 2018,
Right, because this
or
would
no?
be the third
So
year pro.
the percentage of my involvement was more in 2018. 2017, 2016 is when I was meeting them in their pit here and there, getting to know the guys, stuff like that. 2018, they were pro. I was still in their pit helping them out. But they were calling the shots. I was just scouting, giving suggestions.
But how'd you get linked up with them?
I said that before with so Bo and Arslan would help out NWO because they knew Rick from I believe the Jester days.
Oh, right.
So I'd be either when I was pseudo coaching them or coaching them, they'd be in and out of the pit, helping out when they could. And same thing with me. Because they helped me, I would show the same love and go back and help them. And this is when I had the rule book on point. And once again, NXL. Oh my God! I don't care that you changed the rule, right? I don't care. Change the rule for the better of the game. It is what it is. Cool. But dude, post right on your website.
They do it on the Lolo.
The Lolo, bang, smack. We got a new addition to the fucking rule book. We're changing this. Blah blah blah. You know how many times I've been like, yo, you can't do that. Whatever it is. Look at the Russian Legion match with NYX, right?
Yeah.
Dirty hang, swing point. I get the point. I just maxed the Russians. No. New rule. If you get shot before the back center or before the back center square,
I remember
it's
when
a minor.
this came out.
But if you get shot on the other side of it, it's a major. And I'm just like, for real? For real? That's this stupid ass rule that you just inserted into the rule book is
right now.
It's like, all right, whatever, fuck you.
What are you gonna do?
I guess someone wants to
I
watch
remember
this
when
thing.
this whole thing came out.
Oh my God, man, that fucking killed me. Whatever. I ain't gonna harp on it. It is what it is. But yeah, post what you're changing.
Right?
So many teams have been screwed. I've been screwed about. Oh yeah, we changed it an hour ago. What? So that's when I was really on par. And I can remember Bo running over to my pit, and I used to have a pack on with my playbook and the rule book in my wedged in my back. And he's like, Pat, I need the rule book, and rips it out and takes off. I'm just like, oh, okay, and I had shit highlighted and everything.
Right.
I was on par at that point. I actually had to correct a ref during a gross major situation. unsportsmanlike conduct and everything. And I actually had to be like, yo, I just read that on the plane. Section 10, paragraph F, blah, 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 states if a player makes a malicious or vulgar action to another player, it's a gross, and they're in paintball jail. And I remember busting that out, and people were like, "Oh my God, he knows the rule book." And sure enough, Z, one of the blue shirts, whips open the rule book, and I'm like, "Here, I got it for you, highlighted." And he was like, "You are right. You are 100% right." And as this is happening, a big ass fucking brawl is happening behind us between my team and the team that we were playing. And then me and Z just look at each other like, all right, gross major on me, gross major on him, wash everything, hit paintball jail, one of mine, paintball jail, one of theirs, was called quits. Done, bang, go away. So now, all right, so it's the end of 2018, 2019 is coming up. Bo hits me up. Pat, I really want you to coach with us. The boys are on board. Sick. So I don't know if there was a miscommunication between me and Bo, or whatever the case may be. He was also picking up this guy named Jesse Benoit, call him Benny, from Distortion, and he was going to main coach, and I was going to do the specialty plays, scouting, and stuff like that. And so I was a little taken off guard with it, but whatever. It is what it is. A month later, when Robbie went through the tryouts with a few other players, Keith DeVitt being one of them, there's a story about that, but I won't get into it, but Keith DeVitt definitely on your side about that. They did you dirty, my friend. So I got on the team a month before Robbie. Now, me and Robbie are on the team. Sick. I'm with my boy. We're playing pro. We're finally doing pro.
Yeah.
Vegas happens. We don't do great. We go 1-3. That was that big controversy with Aftermath. And Frankie from the Bears makes it onto Aftermath. And Frank's another awesome guy. Real stand-up dude, A few months ago, a few people on a certain former team of mine were talking, I'm not going to say shit, but talking, just sprinkling a little bit of dirt on my name, and Frankie just wasn't having it. Told him straight up what he thought and how they were wrong. Where someone else could have just, kept their mouth shut and let them, just vent or talk, whatever it was. But Frankie stood up for me and he said, no, you guys are wrong. That's not Pat. So, shout out to Frankie, an awesome guy. So he's on Aftermath. We're playing, big controversy. So not to go in too much detail because I don't want to spit on anybody's name or, in my eyes, once something gets buried, it's buried.
All right.
Yeah.
Keep it within that team.
If it's in the past, it's in the past.
Yeah, it's that team code that you don't break. So something happened with Benny and one of the pick guys who's a family member. Well, I'm going to call him a family member because he's basically family with the guys. Something happens that's not good, that Benny winds up quitting the team. I'll tell you guys afterwards what it is, but I'm not going to say it on air. It's just, it is what it is. So Benny quits. Now I have full control of the team. So I thought. And this is where the juice is starting to come in. So now we're gearing up for Texas. This is when the whole me getting on Robbie thing was going down. We're 2 weeks deep. The boys hit me up. They want to bring Benny back. Now, in my eyes, I don't think Benny should come back because of what happened. But it wasn't my call. I ain't gonna make no beef out of it. I'm not putting any shade on Benny. It is, what happened is what happened. I'm not faulting him. It's buried, moving on, no shade thrown. And I was unhappy. Because now I spent 2 grueling weeks with these dudes. There's actually a picture of me fucking yelling at Harris in my jacket because he fucked up, surprisingly. So I had a heart-to-heart with Benny, and I'm like, yo, Benny, man, I feel like I should have the reins on this one. You know, and he totally agreed. You know, didn't want to step on no toes. So we went out there. We went 2-2, and now, oh God, here we go, man. This is where it drops right now. The pin fucking drops. So going into that, so at the start of this, when I first came on the team, I made it clear to everybody on the team, I am playing no favorites. I don't care who you are. Some of you guys know me from a couple years. Some of you guys don't. Robbie, you know me for fucking,
15 years.
15
Right.
years at this point, whatever the case may be. You know, playing no favorites. The best person will play. Period. That is it. I don't care. The only person that can override me is Bo. I don't want to hear no shit. Once this clipboard goes in my hands and this jersey goes on, I am now your coach. Once it comes off, if you want to be friends, cool. If not, kick rocks.
Right.
You know, I'm here for straight business.
I'm here to
That
win
was
this-
my mentality.
I'm
Going
here to win this fucking match.
Right. I'm pro. I struggled my whole life. Some serious family drama will happen around paintball, but I fought and clawed, and
Same way you guys said.
I'm at the top.
Right.
Right. You think that people would take that and be like, all right, this is real deal. We're pro. Second year pro. Real deal coach. Even though he's fresh, green into the pro scene, we know what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Do I drop it all or do I sugarcoat it?
Man, be you, man.
Man. So, going into Texas. I'm sorry, hang on, let's backtrack. Going to Vegas. Me, Bo, and Benny were talking about who should play, what plays, yada, yada, yada. And I believe that Dreads should have started in Vegas. Hands down.
Josh Taylor.
Josh Taylor.
Yeah.
Dreads. The fucking
I
president.
knew who you meant. Yeah.
My stat sheet proved that he should play. We played against, I believe, Damage. My first pro practice against a good team, Damage, and he was killing. That's when that big brick was on the Dorito side, and if you were in it, you locked down the entire side, right? You do that all day. He was out snapping the Jacob brothers. You know, Adrian Smith, the team? Whatever, just call it the Jacob brothers, leave it at that. Anyway.
Good players.
I got overruled. Okay. You're the head coach. You're the owner. This is what it is. It's 2-3 in the Three Musketeer vote.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. There you go. When Benny left, and now I'm running the show, going to Texas. A member of the team was failing to do jobs that I assigned, was making dumb moves, and he was cheating so much that I have to throw penalties on my own team and then walk over to Dynasty, right?
Right.
To the Rusty Glaze, who I've watched on Heroes of the Day, you know,
1,000
who I
times.
grew up fucking playing against, to Tyler Harmon, to Greenspan, to Frazier. And I have to apologize as the main coach now for the actions of my player. I wanted to cry. You know what I'm saying? Here are the OGs, the triple OGs of the sport,
Right.
and I have to apologize because there's a member of my team who's cheating so fucking bad that I have to throw majors in a practice, and a paid practice, against a pro team just to prove a point.
Yeah.
Just to prove a point.
Ridiculous.
Is that person starting the next day at your tournament if you were coaching that team?
I would say
Should have
no, unless that person is a financial benefactor of the team
But it's not.
and overrides that.
But it's not.
Then I would say, dude.
Okay, hey, wait. You
I
want
would-
more? You want more? I'll give you more.
I would
right?
say pro.
No, you
I would
triggered.
say pro.
You triggered. Ready? Now we're going into the team meeting the night before the event.
I think this is
We're
on
talking.
video.
We're talking about the bullshit. This is on video, and I wish this guy would have recorded more of this, but he cut it, to be politically correct and all that.
PC.
fucking-
Yeah,
Fuck all that. You got the raw video. The video. Post that shit. So we're big team meeting. We rented out this conference room at the hotel or whatnot. We got the play crudely drawn up on the thing. I finally get my first jersey with 2 events in now.
And is that just
I
say
hate-
Pat?
It
Coach
said
Samarui?
it says Tonelli on it. It's fucking hilarious. I can't be. It's hilarious. We'll save that for the next time I come.
Shout out
Yeah.
to the toes.
Shout out to the toes. Remember to wash your toes, people. You never know once, someone.
Just getting sucked on. But alright.
All right, so we're a couple minutes in. We have a the NXL, film crew with us. I call the starting line, and I remember 4 out of the 5. It was
PK?
PK, Josh Taylor, Dreads,
Okay.
Graham. I believe it. Rounding off was Lackey and Johnny D. I could be wrong. I have the book with the lines and everything. What should a player not do at that moment?
Flip out.
Flip out. And why shouldn't a player flip out at that moment? You can hear crickets right now.
'Cause, you got to be down for the benefit of the team, man. You got to be a team
Right.
player, and you got to think.
A team player. For all the people out there, a team wins you tournaments. A team wins you points.
Not an individual.
An individual will have highlight reels, yes. But that individual, unless it's Ollie fucking Lang, is not going to have 5 highlights in one game.
Right.
Right? And
Shout out to Oliver.
shout out to Oliver, man, get out of the trees, come back to life, bro. 'Cause watching you play was unreal.
I play for Pat.
I'll play for you, man. Shit. You gotta shave that weird ass mustache.
Play for Pat. Brooklyn Bears.
Right?
Coming hot.
And if you think that you're that, first of all, if you can't think that you're that superstar, okay? You can't think it.
You gotta
have
be
to
humble in this situation.
Right? And especially if you fucking suck, you can't think that you're that player. Right? So, I call the fucking line. This individual, you know who you are. People who were there and who know who you are.
Do you think that individual is...
They said it on.
Back?
They said it on the video, right? They
No,
posted
but do
it.
you think that individual is holding the team back from being a
Absolutely.
top? So they
Absolutely.
can-
I said it to him, to the group, everybody. That team will struggle for the rest of their lives with this individual on their team. Flat out. Nothing bad about him personally. He's a funny guy. He can be a little stingy sometimes. But when it comes to paintball, you are a fucking snake. I don't care if that torpedoes my career or whatnot. You are a fucking snake. Flat out.
Yeah.
But, if you want to bullshit in the parking lot, I got nothing against you. But, after that, it's probably like, right? So, he flips out.
Shout out to Go Sports Interview.
Yeah. He
Next
flips
one.
out, goes bananas, leaves the meeting with tears in eye, checks out of the hotel, disappears for the entire night. So now I make a game plan regarding that his is going to be absent. Continue forward. But now the mood is shot.
Right, the morale is
The
like
vibe
gone.
is shot. The
Right.
mood is shot, man. And
Right?
as a
And,
key-
and it's nothing to do
key
with
member.
me. It's not biased. Stop fucking cheating in practice. Do your job. Don't make stupid moves. Play fucking paintball.
So would I say this? Do you think the best? So there's 20 pro teams. Let's say each pro team has 10 dudes. Would you think that the best 200 players in paintball are playing pro, or do you think there's some
Definitely some hidden gems out there.
there's some people that are falling through the cracks that really
Definitely
shouldn't
falling.
be in pro?
Yeah, I mean, also that has to do with region, money, politics, all
It's
that
not.
shit.
It's not because paintball. Paintball is not a money sport or
No, you have to have the drive and the love for the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're trying to make a career out of it, unless you're in the right region, connected to the right people,
Never
have
gonna
the
happen.
funding to do it, It ain't gonna happen, man. It ain't gonna happen. Sorry. It's not gonna happen. Move out to the West Coast. Get the shit beat out of you by the West Coast teams for a hot minute. You know? With a little bit of financial aid. Then maybe your career will take off.
Yeah.
Pop off during like a tournament for first and second a few times. To where they're like, oh, Matty Marshall's
Saying your name.
saying your name on the D1 level. Maybe you'll get picked up. Like, didn't it happen to Otero, right? The guy he played with the All Stars.
Played with TJ All Stars,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he owns the like Mexican Expo League or something.
Yeah, all right, you know.
They had another kid. They had from Australia.
Yeah, or Elias.
Kling.
Yeah, I remember that name.
Matty.
Or Elias on Damage. I don't know if it's still with Damage or not.
No.
Another serious D1 player gets picked up by Damage.
I think he
kinda,
kind of faded out a little bit.
You know, falls through the cracks because they're picking even Rosati. You know, Rosati beasted out on NYX the 2018 season.
Right.
Gets picked up by Impact on 2019.
I feel like Impact mainly picked him up to like stop the growth of NYX.
I
A
mean,
little bit of each.
maybe I'm not gonna say yes because I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But I saw it as they were looking for new talent. Rosati definitely beasted. I'm gonna say he was cheap as far as getting him where he needed to go and everything like that.
I mean, they're probably paying people 40, and he was a 20.
Whatever, you know, I'm not gonna go into detail with that. I don't really know all the numbers and the stuff, but you know. And then I believe he rolls his ankle midway through the season, and is still, you know, dealing with it. You know, hard bodied, and it just sucks because he had a great opportunity. You know, look what happened with Nick Laval. You know, they picked him up from 187, and he's one of those guys that was as soon as he got into a team, skyrocketed off, took off. So
W helped him a lot, though. I felt.
the what?
Ball.
Oh, the W, yeah. That W was sick. I mean, it kind of got old, but it was a nice aspect. So, getting back to this shenanigans, so we go. It's the, you know, next day or whatnot, and 5 minutes before the game starts, this person walks into the pit,
Harris Suzanne.
and every game plan gets thrown out the window, and he sits 1 point, and then he goes in, and that's when I really was like, all right, that fury I had to be here is now slipping away from me,
Yeah.
and
You can start to see that you don't really have the control you thought.
and then so now Benny leaves again. There was a reason, and like I said, I'm not going to go too deep into it, but he didn't want to do the partnership, right? You know, he has his own way of coaching. I have my own way of coaching. Of course, when you have an offensive and I have a defense, or vice versa, you're going to butt heads.
Right.
So he went his separate ways, you know, on good terms this time. So now I have complete control, and now I believe we're going into Philly. Once again, same routine. The one person is not
Doing their job.
Not doing their job. Cheating. Just fucking not gelling. And now the team's on a decline. And so we're in Philly. We beat AC Dallas, right? Now we're 2-0 or 1-1, whatever the case may be. And instead of talking about what we need to do, we're worried about this one guy. Because he quit midway through one of the games. I believe it was the AC game. He quit midway through. Fuck you all. You guys all suck.
And walked out.
Sat on the fucking table. Then we started coming back. And then it's like, okay, 19-second point. I want to go in. You go, what? What the fuck did you say to me? Yeah, it's back on that table.
Yeah.
And I fought tooth and nail. It's 19 seconds against AC Dallas, one of the best defensive teams.
Yeah.
And against one of the best coaches in Greg Pauly.
Right.
Now, I played against Greg Pauly when he was coaching
Diesel.
earlier teams coming up to the ranks. I know Greg Pauly is a serious coach, right? I want to go in the 19-second point. I have 4 of the fastest dudes I fucking know who are only about 5'4".
Yeah.
Right?
Back to
I'm
what
going to
you-
take one of them. I'm going to take Robbie or Lackey out or Graham to put you in to get to the buzzer in 19 seconds to do a job to the T, even though if you look at the stats, you have maybe 2 dashes in the job category where everybody else has 12, 15, 16 point, you know?
Yeah.
Like, no, what? Get the fuck out of here. So he got
That's
real
not-
he got real hot at that. We wound up winning that. So instead of fucking game planning, high note, we have to worry about this. What this guy's gonna do, and what does he do? He fucking dips. Again, no team meeting, right? Man, you didn't play me every point. I'm the best person on the team. I'm having a conniption because you sat me 1 point. I believe every pro sits if the coach tells him to sit with no bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Right? At least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? And if there is bullshit, I've never seen a pro team, the higher ranking pro teams, from 10 and up, or 8 and up, the dynasty, the damage, the impact, the info, whatever.
Who's the
fucking-
heat, man? You know
if
what I mean?
if Sarge tells your ass to sit, you're fucking sitting.
Yeah.
And you're not saying a word
seems
until you
greedy,
get
man.
back.
It
And you
seems
better come
greedy.
straight with the argument,
Oh yeah.
right?
I like to compare it to other sports because that's what everyone wants paintball to be. And
Right.
you think Bill Belichick is telling a dude to sit and he's over there throwing a conniption and just
Yeah,
walking on the
Odell
field?
Beckham Jr., right? You
Yeah.
think you're popping off like that?
Yeah.
Without fines and shit?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no, Beckham, dude.
Right? Get the fuck out of here, man. Like,
Yeah.
So,
Didn't he shoot himself in the foot, though?
No, you're thinking Plaxico Burress
Oh,
like a
okay.
decade
or a
ago.
leg or something like that. Robbie would know that. He's big into football. I'm hungry. I just ate before I got here. I'm sorry.
Because
We'll
we're
get to
going
something.
nearly 3 hours, man.
Yeah. And we're not done yet.
Almost.
Close.
Oh, man. So I believe we're going to play Infamous now.
So Harris fucked everything up. We're playing
Well, I'm not
Infamous.
saying names, but you guys can plug in the fucking gaps. Fuck you, though. Fuck you. So now we're gonna go play Infamous and hear the plays and everything, and they were doing a pretty good job against us. And I was told to put Harris in. Okay, Harris, go. All right, you failed at doing the 1. Okay. So now, fuck you. So now I put him as a 2. Okay, he's failing. Now the points are getting away from us. Now we're digging a hole. So I'm like, all right, Harris, you're going to sit. No, let me play the snake. I'm like, what? I'm like, I have Robbie, Lackey, Will, Graham. And now I'm going to put your fucking ass into the snake where they're having a so-so time in getting there, depending on who I got in and what route they're taking, because I was switching it up. I'm going to put you in and over there. Yeah, Pat, put him in. Okay? Didn't even have to watch.
Yeah.
Dead. All right, put him over here. Dead. All right, put him over there. Penalty. Yeah, it's 7-3, guys. Am I gonna do my job now, or what the fuck? Wind up losing that. He flips out again, and I'm like, at this point, I'm like, all right, it's not gonna stop. No matter what this guy does, no matter how he plays, what position on the field, he's never coming off. And if I do sit him, it's a bomb in the pit.
Mm-hmm.
So now going into the next event, I told Robert this, I have to make plays around this guy just to keep the morale of the team high so he won't blow up. How dumb does that sound? That a pro coach has now have to work game plans around an individual because he doesn't want to come off the field because he's that selfish.
It's insane.
Like, how did we're on a pro level. What the fuck is going on here? So now we're going into Chicago, and it's the same fucking story. He's cheating. He's not doing his job. The stats show he shouldn't be starting. It's just a fucking nightmare. The morale of the team is at a low. At this point, my mental capacity of dealing with it is just, I'm here for Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
'Cause Robbie's your boy, man.
Robbie's my boy, and there was a point after that event where I was just like, Robbie, I'm done. I don't care no more. You know, I made it to pro. I don't care anymore. I'm
I
done.
thought you were satisfied, but just like you were done with the
It's-
mental struggle.
It was a mixture of stuff. I was satisfied that I made it. I was done with the struggle. You know, my health condition doesn't allow me to stress the way I was stressing.
That's a big thing, man.
So,
I'm the same
you
way,
know,
man.
it was
Used to
just
stress
like,
paintball.
but Robbie and Robbie was definitely a reason, and all the other guys who wanted me there, who were fighting for me to be there. And just to harp on this thing, me and Robbie were at Nick's party with all the East Coast Empire guys in there. Robbie disappears for 45 minutes. I see him out deep in Nick's, backyard. Find out that Robbie was airing out a few people on the NYX team about, basically, that's my boy Pat. Stop fucking talking shit. You're in the wrong. You're the reason why we're losing. You're the reason why the team is like this. Like, go fuck yourself. Because that one player wanted me gone right after I called the starting line in Texas. He wanted me gone. Facts of life. I don't care what anybody says.
Mhm.
That dude wanted me gone. But the team and Bo wanted me to stay. And at that moment, the team came first. If the team turned around and said, Pat, we want to go separate ways, no hard feelings, goodbye. If one individual is like, you're sitting me, kick rocks.
Right.
So now we're in Chicago. Same scenario with 2-0 or somewhere in that area.
2-2.
2-2. And so it was the second day. So I got to protect the team code of certain stuff. You can't really air. Right?
Yeah, it's like a locker room. You don't.
Locker room etiquette. So I will say that the team had enough. At this point, because instead of focusing for our Thunder match, we once again had to worry about where this dude went, because he's not in the team meeting. Because I said,
Yeah.
disappeared again. So we come up with a game plan.
Without him.
The game plan. Gel is high. Fuck that clown. We're out. Team NYX. Here we go.
Yeah.
Guess what happens?
Comes rolling on back.
He rolls on back. And I'm like, and I pulled Bo to the side. I'm like, Bo, man, if you don't say something to the team about him playing because you want him to play, you're going to have, it's going to be bad.
Unrest.
It's going to be bad in here. Bo decided to not tell the team. And when I called the starting line, which I already called the night before with the play and everything,
Right.
everybody's set in stone, everybody's and I had to go, hey, all right, guys, we're going to do play whatever.
2 or whatever.
Yep, and here's the line. Everybody gave me the eyes, like, what the fuck? Everybody turned to each other like, oh, okay, cool. Done the match, dead.
Yeah.
So there was...
Team morale was non-existent.
It was gone. There was a little... So that Russian Legion match, 2 things we're going to blow over it. There's a reason why I reffed the entire game from a cooler and never stood up. Those of you who know me will fill in the blank on why that happened. But I'm going to tell you guys that I couldn't see 10 feet in front of me. And I couldn't stand, let alone hold a marker. And yet I almost beat the Russians that day in Chicago without even looking at the field. We're just getting knowledge of what these guys were, and then trying to fucking go like this on paper. And I think I only lost by 2 to the Russians. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking legendary.
But the guys almost didn't play that game.
They almost walked
And
out.
now you guys can fill in blanks, but there was a conversation. Jerseys were dropped on the floor, and NYX almost didn't play that Russian Legion game in Chicago in the prelims.
That's insane.
All because of
One individual.
It's insane.
Right? So,
The loudest individual on the team.
oh my god, man. The one thing that dude does do right is network. That's about it. That's about it. And for people who think he's good,
No.
watch a match with the volume on mute and watch the match and watch that individual. And you will change your opinion. You will change your opinion. When you don't have someone hyping him up or talking about him only when he does something great, and you actually watch what he does, your opinion will change.
Yeah, when you look at the whole picture.
Yeah.
And not the 10-second highlight video on Go Sports.
Right. And it's a shotgun effect. You put that dude out there for 50 points, he's going to have a few good ones.
Right.
But does that 6 good ones outweigh the 44 points that he just played?
Bad ones, yeah.
No. You want at
You want-
least a 500 50-50 ratio.
Yeah, you need better consistency.
You know? Like, come on now. So, World Cup hits, or we actually go to the Outlaws field, and we have a serious team bonding. All bullshit is aside. All fucking past transgression. What are you eating, man?
Orange.
All right, let me get some. I'm dying over here. You know, everything's washed away, and there was some more beef that, you know, these guys that I talked about know about. But everything just gelled, and we sacrificed that Sunday because we all got obliterated on Saturday to have that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then going into, thank you. This thing is fucking frozen, man. What's going on? So going into that, you know, we were feeling real good, and just, you know, once again, you know, I can't sit this individual without nonsense happening. And it was just a story of the whole year, man. So at the end, I knew it was coming. Before Bo even calls me, this individual kicks me out of the group, and I already knew what was coming. And Robbie, you know, big shout to Robbie. This is why Robbie's will remain one of my good friends. And, you know, I have his back no matter what, and I know for damn well he has mine. Robbie, so this guy basically told him, so they were making cuts. They cut Graham, they cut Lackey. Reasons were finances, but I kind of think it was because of something else.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, talking about food now. So they call Robbie, or this individual calls Robbie, and he's like, "Ha, you like all the cuts we're making? We got one more to go." And Robbie says, "Who?" And the guy goes, "Your boy Pat." And now, you know, they go back and forth, and Robbie basically says, "Yo, if you cut Pat on some bullshit because you don't want him here, but the team does, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Go fuck yourself."
Yeah.
The guy hangs up the phone with him and kicks me, Robbie, out of the group. Right? About 2 hours later, Bo calls me. Hey, Pat, you know, gives me the spiel. I'm like, "Yeah, Bo, I already know. Carrie's kicked me out." What if, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously. So, you know, it's, and that dude, that team with Lackey and Graham on it was showed that they can beat the best.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That they can beat the best. The year before, we were 1 point away from beating X Factor. Or no, we beat X Factor. We were 1 point away from beating Heat. We were 1 point away from beating Impact. We just beat the Russians. We beat AC Dallas. You know, we beat Infamous. We beat these top-notch teams. But the one flaw that team has is this individual and the love that Bo shows this individual.
Right.
And if it wasn't, I can't fault Bo. That's his boy. He has to have his boys back. It is what it is. I get it. I completely get it. No ill will towards Bo at all. But that love he has for that one dude is going to be the end of basically his career or that team.
Right.
Because there's only so much more that those better players or the players in general on that team are going to take.
Right.
You can't keep on putting the one guy above everybody else on the team. Can't do it.
No, you're right. You can't. You can't. So everyone's eating in here. It seems like we should be getting this to an end. I want to thank Pat for joining us. I mean, it was a great episode. We're definitely going to have you back to tell more. I know you're helping out AK and doing some other stuff. So maybe after, I know they're playing because my brother's playing with them. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, I played the last one, right?
He played the last
I
one.
had to go to my to Beaver's bachelor party.
Oh, okay.
Robbie and Nick and everybody.
Yeah, no, he's trying to play with them. I know he's going to practice with them this weekend and the next weekend coming up. So
Sick.
he's taking it serious. So yeah, we'll definitely have to have you back.
Now, was he the one who wore his pack upside down and got a penalty for it?
Now my brother would never wear his pack upside down.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
'Cause I heard that happen.
I said when you see him, you can't miss. He looks just like me. Long ass hair, big old beard.
Yes, I met your brother. I know.
Yeah.
So now I'm coaching Gil, Snaggle, Joey Spax, Nicky Brolico's brother, Jesse, all the dudes from the back in the day. And to me, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's all about getting my boys a medal.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't care about anything else. That's what I care about.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Get them that hardware.
Yeah, so, I'll wrap it up too. I got plenty more stories. The next time we're here, we'll do more of the funny aspect instead of the life story.
Yeah.
But big shout out to the East Coast Emperor guys, the Altamores, Robbie, Joey, Nick, Jared. Much love for you, even though I hate you. Magic Mike, one of the best dudes I know. All the NWO guys, Woods, Sully, Beaver, the Beavers, you guys did a lot for me, and I have nothing but love for you guys. And, big part of my inner circle, even though you guys are crazy and live that big bowling life. Paintball fields, Straza, gotta give you love, man. Your field is amazing. Anybody who wants to go there, please hit him up on Facebook because there's a lot of teams that go there. And you have to make a list and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So Battle Creek, Straza, much love for you. Jim Kim, the Jesus Christ.
TSXL.
Thank you. The Tri-State Expo League. The Wild West, Waldo's thing. Keep it going at Long Live Paintball. He's doing the 7-man 2. The Bears will be there. That's not affiliated with Waldo.
Wait, hold on, real quick. Are you gonna be coaching the Bears at that 7-man?
Maybe.
All right. I mean, because I'm the one-time champ, so.
Yeah, okay. Enjoy that.
You think you're coming for my title?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, dude, I'll see you in finals, motherfucker.
See me where you want.
But Arfat, anybody else you want to thank?
Frank Connell coming for you, bro.
Blah, 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 blah. Hi-Vi. I said it before. One of the best Call of Duty experiences. James is now running the outdoor. Awesome dude. Smith and Andy. I don't know if Andy's still working there, but whatever the case may be. Awesome dudes. Gotta check it out. If you're on the island and you want to play against the top level dudes, which would be the Bears and Hi-Vi Wrecking Crew, that's where you want to be. Hi-Vi on Saturdays and Sundays. I don't know why I'm holding my orange up in the air like that. If you want the open, more kind of a woods bowl experience, Cousins Paintball in Calverton and in Jersey and wherever else they got their shit going on. Matt's out back. He's running the Ops tournament. It's a legit place in Connecticut. If you guys up that way, and just get out and play.
Hell yeah!
It's an awesome sport, but you gotta have the heart and the balls and the drive to do it. Like I said on that other interview I did, it's not an easy sport, man. It's not an easy sport.
No, it's not for the faint of heart at all.
If you wanna stand shoulder to shoulder with your boy and shoot people and feel that joy of victory and fun and all that other nonsense, paintball is the way to be.
Hell yeah!
And I'm always willing to coach. I know a couple people want me to coach them. It's hard out there, man. It's hard.
Yeah, man.
So
guys, everybody out there, if you're looking for a coach, Pat's helped me out in multiple ways through the Start Box Paintball Camp, through the TSXL, and he's even coached us in the past. Man, if you guys are looking for a dedicated coach that brings stats, no favoritism or anything like that, definitely reach out to Pat Sanelli. Definitely reach out to him and hit him up, because the guy's got a love for the game, a passion for the game, and he's going to breed you into winners. Regardless if it's at the pro scene, the local scene, or anything like that, when Pat shows up to an event, he brings data, he brings no favoritism or anything like that. So definitely hit Pat up. You know, we are glad to have Pat out. We definitely has a lot more stories. So definitely subscribe, rate, and review. I know we went on for this one for a long time, but if you if you stayed through this episode or anything like that, definitely, you know, comment Samarui, and then we know, and we'll get you in the drawing for some nice swag or anything like that. But definitely reach out to Pat. He's going to be involved in a lot of things that we do, and we're glad to have him. So subscribe, rate, review the episode, and thank you for playing, and thank you for listening, and then reach out and let us know. So thanks, guys, and peace out.
Take it easy.
Deuces.